Good evening, everyone. Welcome to pw.live. Please confirm whether the audio and video is clear. Warm welcome to the Titan, Pinnacle, Prarambat students, and also to the YouTube community. Please confirm whether audio and video is clear. अरे यार Good evening, namaste, good evening. Dipanvita, Marisuba, Sanchi, Ishika, Avishi, Evelyn, Mahek, Jayant Kumar, Anand, Kamal. All right, people. So we have quite a long list of topics today. Electromagnets as an alternative to rare earth permanent magnets in electric motors, big chat, international relations, we have China and AI, registration of births and death amendment bill, Supreme Court mining around wetlands, gold demand, analyzing FTAs, health budget, internal security, we have India, Bangladesh border, digital arrests. Then under health, we have leptospirosis, fast food, carcinogenic alert, wildfires, Lepidoptera, and even Asiatic lions. Under society, we have India's schools, India's medical colleges, caste stigma, and Jammu and Kashmir, an analysis post the 370 abrogation. All right. So these are the topics that we'll be seeing. And before that, again, a much needed alert for all of you. Any one of you who are still thinking what to do, what not to do, see, Independence Day offers are there. This is your last golden and final opportunity, especially for those people who are planning to give their attempt in 27. Titan batch is available for 11,000 rupees. Pinnacle batch, which is for 2028, it is available at 13,000. Praram batch is there at 28,000. So for all of you who have just entered college or you are planning to give your attempt in 2029, this is your last and final chance. Just take it up. Don't waste your time. If you can afford it, please go ahead with it. Don't try to fool yourself or confuse yourself in the guise of self-preparation, because I have told you many times, self-preparation means you are the faculty, you are the student. If you can go for this, please go for this. All right. Now, without further delay, let us get into this. Electromagnets. See, when we were all very young, probably in our school, etc., we would have done this experiment. That is, you take an iron rod, take a copper wire, wind it on that iron rod, connect a battery to it, and you will experience what? Magnetic field in it. All right. You will experience magnet. You take any, that iron will start behaving like a magnet. Now that is in a very simple manner, that is called an electromagnet. The concept here is, whenever you are having a changing electric field, you will have a changing magnetic field. This is the first and foremost thing to understand. Similarly, if you are having a change in the magnetic field, will also generate a change in electric field. It is a very basic principle. So if you are talking about an electric motor and an electric generator, their working is very similar. Similar, I will tell you why. Electric motor means what? It converts electrical energy to mechanical energy. Correct. Your pump, what you switch on for pumping your water to the tank, etc., that is electric motor. Then you have generator. Electric generator, what does it do? Mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. Now, what is the process involved in it? Basic thing to understand is there are two things associated. One is like best. Yeah. These coils, what you see here, this is what you call stator. Stator means these are static. They won't move. The center of it, you have what is called a rotor. Rotor, why? Because it rotates. As simple as that. Now, depending upon what I want, whether I want mechanical energy or whether I want electrical energy, on the basis of that, what will happen? I will either get electrical power or I will get mechanical power. So, how does that work now? If current flows in the stator windings, magnetic field interacts across the air gap. Here, producing a force that turns the rotor. Means, in this diagram itself, if you see, if I am going to provide electricity to these stator coils, it will generate a force here, magnetic force, which will turn this rotor. How is that the magnetic field is generated? Because to this, when you switch on your electricity, right, electric power is going into these coils. And electric power in our household, it is what? Alternating current. Correct? So you will get a changing magnetic field. That magnetic field will produce enough torque to turn the rotor. What will you get? Mechanical power. Ulta scenario. I am turning this rotor. I am turning this rotor. And I'm also providing some small DC current to this. What current? DC current. Direct current. And I'm turning this rotor at very high speed. What will happen? Electricity will get generated in these static coils and I'll be able to use it. Once again, I will tell you, your motor, the pump that is there, those of you who are, let us say, in Kerala or Tamil Nadu, etc., wherever you are having pump in your home, you will be knowing it. Borewell, well, etc., you will be knowing it. You switch it on, what is happening? Electricity is going into these static coils. It is generating a magnetic field. That magnetic field is turning this rotor. That is your motor. Then, when I send a small DC current to this rotor, rotate it at a very high speed, it will generate what? Electricity in the static coils. This is the simple funda of a generator. Now, how will I rotate this at a high speed? In a generator, this rotor will be always connected to what is called a turbine. Rotor is connected to turbine. How does that work? So, if this is your generator, this is the rotor. These are the coils. This rotor will be connected to a turbine. Turbine from front, it will be looking like this, but actually that thing will be looking like something like this. side view, top view. What is turning the turbine? Well, if the turbine is being pushed, turbine is pushed by steam power. What steam? Superheated steam. That means temperature will be very, very high, 200 or 300 degrees Celsius with at least 3 or 4 bar pressure. So to tell you how much of power the steam actually has, normal water is there which will boil. That is at 100 degrees Celsius. One atmospheric pressure, it will boil. 100 degrees Celsius. Normally, what you keep it in your stove, etc. But if I keep the water inside a closed container and I start boiling it, then the temperature starts building up. Pressure also starts building up. When I was working as a marine engineer, we heard the story of one of our another company, not in our company, another company. A marine engineer, he was working with a chemical tanker. So when he was trying to turn a valve, what happened? That valve came off in his hand. And superheated steam directly blasted on his face. So obviously there is a human instinct, right? When somebody comes to slap or something is coming to your face, what will you do? You'll normally turn your head away. So he turned his head, the steam took the entire blast on the side of his face. All right. His face moved apparently. Face moved in the sense, so you have your eyes here, correct? Eyelash, everything, eyelid, everything. That shifted. What is supposed to be here came here. Nose that was supposed to be here, that moved here. This moved here. Lips moved away. I'm not joking. Months of surgery, plastic surgery, entirely sponsored by the company because it was not his mistake. It was entirely company's poor maintenance, etc. They splurged and splurged money. Now he's fine, but obviously there is a telltale sign, like mark is there on this part. All right, that is the power of superheated steam. So if that superheated steam, it is coming from coal, means it is a thermal power plant. If it is coming from nuclear energy, means it is a nuclear power plant. If it is coming from a dam, then it's a hydel power plant. Sorry, hydel power plant, you don't have superheated steam. Sorry. Oops. Clear? Otherwise, the turbine can be rotated by hydel power. That is water directly coming and falling on the turbine, which will rotate the rotor. Or it can come from wind power, wind energy, tidal energy, any of this. Got the picture here? Or normally what we see in our places and all, you pour diesel into it, an engine, it's a small engine will be there, that will turn the turbine will turn the rotor, and that will generate, and the rotor will be moving between the coil, and that will generate electricity. This is the idea. Now why are we discussing this? At the heart of electric vehicles, the main component is the motor. Correct? Electric vehicles main component is motor. There is no engine, there is no carburetor, there is no petrol, there is no diesel. How efficiently can this electrical energy be converted into mechanical energy? That is the biggest challenge that is in front of all the car manufacturing companies around the world. How efficiently you can do it. The more efficiently you are able to convert electrical energy into mechanical energy, you will get better range for a single charge. Got the point? You will get a better range for a single charge you will get. So multiple various types of batteries or various types of अब ये क्या हुआ? Various types of motors are there. All right. Various types are there. In that again, yes. In India, basically, they have tried to come with a motor which they claim is much more efficient than whatever motors are currently available. Now, what they have actually done is they are basically trying to control the motor using electromagnets. That is, the electromagnets will be controlled by using artificial intelligence or software so that efficiently you can manage it. This is the idea. It is still a theory. I mean, not a theory. They have made some model and all. But to what extent will it be practical? See, you created something in the lab, that is one thing. But afterwards, the $1,000,000 question comes, can it be commercially exploited? Commercially exploited means not okay. Exploitation will be a very harsh word. Commercially, is it viable? Can you actually manufacture it? Can you actually sell it? And can you actually make profit out of it? That is the most important point. Getting the point here. This is what you use. You have to use, depends. If you are talking about nuclear energy and all, generally we use their heavy water. For coal, etc., normal water can be used. Not the ones with heavy salt and all. Heavy salt, if you try to use, what happens is that deposits will start forming on your containers, etc. You'll have to constantly keep cleaning. Calcium bicarbonates or magnesium carbonates or any other form of carbonates, it is there. It will hard water. Basically, seawater is what it is. Hard water only because so many salts are there. So that when you use, it is not good. So this has been discovered. Permanent magnets generate magnetic field without requiring a continuous supply of electrical energy. Electromagnets require continuous electrical energy to maintain the magnetic field. Last week, if you remember, we have even discussed about magnetic levitation train. And in magnetic levitation trains also, this is the same thing that they do. They will pass electricity into coils. Because the electricity that is passed is alternating, the coils also will keep generating alternating magnetic field, that is north and south. Clear? Electromagnets introduce additional energy losses, including magnetic core losses, electrical resistance losses in copper conductors, and switching and conduction losses in power electronic components. That is one of the main problem here. See, even in your transformers that is there near your home, etc., even there, if you go and stand, you can first of all, you will sense that sound. One boom sound you will hear. That is because high electricity is passing. Wherever high electricity passes, there will be losses. So you need to actually reduce these loss and make it more efficient. That is the major challenge everywhere. Electromagnet based motors are generally less efficient than permanent magnet motors. And to manufacture permanent magnet motors, why is it difficult in India? Because we don't have access to what? We don't have access to that many rare earth elements. Access is what I am talking about. We have potential reserves. We do have potential reserve. But how to extract it, how to utilize it, from that extracted element, how to make permanent magnet motors, we have no idea. Getting the point here? Electric vehicle application. EVs need extremely high motor efficiency. Even 0.1% improvement in motor efficiency will give more range. Higher motor efficiency enables smaller battery packs. That is the advantage. You need to have only lesser and smaller battery with a longer range, means you need not actually worry about traveling long distances then. Future now in Netherlands, etc., what they have is they have this driveways are there, drive-ins are there. Where when you drive through a particular, when you take a, let us say the main road. This is the main road. You are driving and coming. You take a detour. All right. You can take a detour. Exactly here at the center onwards, there is a lever mechanism is which starts from here. As you take your car through this small exit, a lever from below will come and get attached to your car. it will start charging. By the time you come out of it, it will charge some 10, 20, 30% or whatever, so that you need not actually stop and wait for charging. This is one technique that people in Netherlands have come up with. The other thing is what? The other thing is you park your car in a battery station. You get out. You remove your battery. You put it there for charging. You take another battery which is fully charged. Put it in. Continue with your journey. Got the picture here? These are some of the suggested solutions that people are coming up with. But we will have to wait till something concrete comes. As of now, what is the only available technology is what? You charge it just like your phone and then you can use it. It is as simple as that. When it comes to, if you're only somebody who uses car within city on a daily basis, it is definitely better to go for an EV vehicle on any day. That is the bottom line. So my father-in-law got a electric scooter. He went and gave it for service. What is the price of it? 1,000 rupees. Basic cleaning only. Other than that, nothing else is there to do in it. They will just do basic cleaning, basic washing. Then they will just put some grease or whatever, just check some basic checks they will do. They will send it off. Sometimes they won't even do that. Because in electric vehicles, as EV vehicles, you don't have heavy mechanical components or heavy parts, sir. You have to check each and everything. There is just one motor. End of the story. Got the point here? Exactly, Abdul. Current affairs PDF is given in the description. By the way, people, let me tell you, in today's current affair PDF, there are 3 links given. One is for the PDF. The other one is for GS2 question paper analysis mains from 2013. The other one is GS3 question paper analysis from 2013. All right. There are 3-phase induction motors. This is used in Tesla. Electrically excited motors, which is used in BMW and Renault. Switched reluctance motors, which is used in Honda. Synchronous reluctance motors, which is used in Hitachi. Where the aim is, especially if you notice, to reduce dependence on rare earth permanent magnets. Now, why is it that every country, including India, want to reduce the dependence on rare earth permanent magnets? Because China literally has a monopoly in it. China literally has the machinery as well as the technology how to extract these rare earth elements. But if you try to make a deal with China, you know it is a loser's game. Because China will place, if you ask for China for this technology, China will demand something else. So you can really see world over, almost every country's main target today is somehow reduce the dependence on rare earth elements. Totally. Clear? We'll take a bit chat, but before that, because we were talking about China, let us talk about China and AI. What is China's policy on AI? So like I told you, entire world on one side, China on the other side, where China has the monopoly in rare earth elements. All right. China has the monopoly in this. And entire world is trying to do what? They are trying to find alternate for rare earth element. You see in India also, we can see that this ethanol blending program, etc. Why are they bringing it? One reason, like I told you, see, internationally we can say, okay, it will help. One is, so India is going for this EBP program. International reason is what? Middle East crisis. Whenever a Middle East crisis is there, what will happen? Crude oil prices will increase. Now that will lead to dollar appreciation, rupee depreciation. This is what we can write it on paper. But ground level, you and I both know one fact. What is it? the way or the manner in which ethanol blending program was implemented, which is 20% of ethanol blending, whatever was introduced by the government of India, it was done in a haphazard manner. On top of it, Mr. Nitin Gadkari went on record to say from EBP 20%, we will come with ethanol 100%. It requires a skill of another level altogether, from being one of the most liked ministers in the Modi cabinet to one of the most, unliked or disliked ministers in the Modi cabinet. Correct? We can all agree on this. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Nitin Gadkari becomes the Achilles heel for the current NDA government. Because, see, understand it very, very clearly. Information was not given properly. Even, in fact, the comedy here is that, or the irony here is that, the government itself admitted in the court that we don't have any data with us to show that whether ethanol blending will lead to engine failure or not. Government has not conducted any independent study. Government is doing the test dose now. Getting the picture here? Yes. Internationally speaking, in Brazil or in any other country, wherever they have tried to implement it, there we have not had any issues. That is the reality. So government is like, bach gaya, kisi ne dekha nahi. That is how government is standing there. But again, why I am telling you this will become an Achilles heel for them? Because simple. Now, Nitin Gadkari ji went on record to say ethanol hum 100% kar denge. And immediately we could see revolt, not revolt I would say, but we could see online at least the backlash started increasing. And then immediately he said one important sentence which none of us probably would have thought till then. This is not my ministry. Petroleum is not my ministry. And we were like, wo bhi to sahi hai. If he was not handling petroleum ministry, then who told him to come up with all these things then? Getting the point here? Then who told you to do all this? Minister for Petroleum, one nice, cute looking Sardarji. He has never told anything about this. नितिन गडकरी, मेरा मिनिस्ट्री नहीं है, नहीं है, नहीं है, मैं जा रहा हूं, ये मेरा नहीं है, मैं नहीं आऊंगा खेलने के लिए. आहा, अब तक तो आप तालियों पे ताली ले रहे थे, अब जब आपकी बैंड बजने लगे, अब आपको पता चला दिस इज नॉट योर मिनिस्ट्री. वाह भाई वाह. Got the point here? So, we are also trying for it, trying for alternatives. But the fact of the matter is, because there is very less transparency with regard to implementing it, very less transparency, obviously public are angry. And like I have told you earlier also, in one of my last classes I have told this, 20% you are blending. ठीक है. Then don't you think, if it is 100 rupees petrol, give us that 20% reduction by. You're only giving me 80% petrol. I think so. It is 80%. If we cannot actually go and really check what percentages that they are telling, it is E20. Okay. Some YouTubers were telling it is already E50. 50% is ethanol, 50% is petrol. We have no evidence for it. Officially, we don't have any data for it. Government should actually be doing what? Reduce the prices. Because we are Indians after all. Even if acid is given for free, we'll go and pick it up. We'll go stand in a queue. अरे free में acid दे रहा है, मुझे चाहिए. थोड़ा what is it? Paste खत्म हो गया, मुंह भी धोने के लिए और दिमाग भी साफ करने के लिए acid. You give it. At least start selling it at 80 rupees. Then it would make sense. Got the point? If there is no work in EV scooter for service, why are they charging 1,000? Because petrol vehicle. Mohit, the reason is GST, labor charges, etc. Even if you don't take it to the EV servicing, also nothing will happen. Trust me. At least it should be 80 rupees minimum. But that also they don't want to do. Why? Why the government doesn't want to do that? Government doesn't want to do because be it for the central government, be it for the state government, their biggest source of revenue comes from fuel. चाहे वो डीजल हो, पेट्रोल हो. That is the end story. And think about it. If you actually bring it to 80, hypothetically, if you actually bring it to 80, then water scarcity problem. Bishal Thakur, water scarcity is already there. People are actually thinking that water scarcity will happen because of ethanol. No, water scarcity is already there. So 80 is there. At 80, you are able to get diesel, or 80, you are able to get petrol. Let us say, hypothetically. What do you think will happen to the sales of EV? Will people actually go and buy EV? Just give me a minute. EV sales क्या हो जाएगा? That will come down. Got the point? That will come down. People will prefer it. And on top of it, right now, any major election is happening. Any major election is going to come. Then why will I do this? Indian voters have a very limited memory capacity. So you do it only when an election is around the corner. Getting the point here? Got the picture here? This is the reason. So I have told this earlier also, before 2029 elections. Now UP elections is also around the corner. So when is the question? Before 2029, we can expect a drop in fuel prices. And we can actually expect now, I am also expecting either Balochistan, now already they are claiming independence, fine. But that is not of that big significance for us. But POK, we can expect a surprise. Some or the other surprise we can expect on this front. Getting the point here? Because simple logic, people. Right now, if you see, Bihar elections, if you take it into consideration, Prashant Kishore won the election there, standing as an independent candidate, no media, no funding, no political backing, nothing. A state where caste-based people are used to giving, or rather voting, purely on the basis of caste and little to do with development. In that state, he has won. So sometimes it is not about whom do you want to win. Sometimes it is elections are also about whom do you want to see losing. Getting the point here? Because all thanks to the fact that this is one classic blunder that was committed by the current government. I'm not telling this is a bad idea, but the implementation. Got the point here? Implementation was not done properly. Proper transparency was not there. Proper research also was not conducted before implementing this. Now, okay, you implement it. Then what else should be there as an alternative? Pure 100% petrol. You keep it at international price or whatever you want. You link that with the international crude oil price. This is the price of it. Or you keep 120, 130, whatever. Normal ethanol blended petrol, you give it at a lesser price. Give the option to the, Indians. Correct? That was also not done. But because in Brazil, that is what they did. They clearly mentioned, this is E20. That is normal. Which one do you want? You can choose it there. We didn't give the choice to the Indian consumers. Got the picture? Aage. Now, as somebody told me, but sir, what about the water loss? Brother, why ethanol blending program? Now, EBP. Now, let us see, the politics part is just for your understanding, the bigger picture. But from an exam point of view, you cannot write the politics there. You cannot write the whole thing there. Correct? But if you have an andaza, If you have an understanding ki by this is the politics of it, the understanding becomes complete. Now let us see why ethanol blending program for all purposes is very practical in India. Why? The reason is, unfortunately, Green Revolution. Green Revolution increasingly focused on what? Rice, wheat, and obviously we are very sweet people, sugarcane. And these we have in excess production. India has an ethanol blending program where even from food waste you can generate ethanol. And it is not such a difficult thing to do. I don't know whether you people are used to it. So in Malayalam we call it kashayam or arishtam. Basically all these herbs etc. they put together, they boil it, they keep it in closed bottles and then they give it. That is what the whole thing is. But when you do this boiling process etc., fermentation occurs. It is a very natural process. You take any few fruits, vegetables, you put water in it, put it into water, add a little sugar etc., ethanol will start forming. It is not such a Herculean task to make ethanol. Wine, how is it made? Grapes, water, little bit of yeast I guess, wine is ready. Depending upon how long you have allowed it to ferment, depending on that the price will increase. Because as the ethanol keeps on getting, like as it keeps on forming, you need to scoop it out. Collect it in another bottle. Then again scoop it. Till the point where it becomes so light and over 10 foot, then you put it in some wooden jar or casket, bury it deep down in the soil. You get the most expensive wine, most expensive whiskey, etc. It is a very simple process. For India's, and yeah, so what I wanted to say was kashayam and arishtam, etc. It generally has a certain percentage of alcohol in it. Normally it has. It is not that they put 2 drops of alcohol. These are medicines basically, Ayurvedic medicines. Not that somebody thought, okay, let us put some alcohol into it, let them get a kick. Nah, it comes naturally. So for a country like India with such a huge load of food waste, this is actually a very good alternative for the farmers also to generate additional income. You need not sell everything rice and wheat at MSP or for FRP. You can actually divert a little for what? Ethanol production. Or at least the rice, wheat, sugarcane, etc., which are getting rotten, which are getting wasted, that you can use for ethanol production. In the urban areas, whatever organic waste is there, that you can use for ethanol production. India has that program. On paper, don't worry. It is yet to be implemented. On paper, it is there. Because wastage we generate like anything. Food wastage especially. Got the point? So it is actually a decent plan. So for your question as to water wastage, water is already getting wasted thanks to rice, wheat, sugarcane. For paddy, you need standing water. Wheat, pumps are running. Sugarcane, pumps are running. And there is no water bill. There is no electricity bill. Because both of this are what? Subsidized. How much is the subsidy? 100%. Wastage is already there. Got the picture here? This is the reality. So like I told you, every country in the world, when they are busy trying to do, okay, let us try to find alternative research. We saw Hitachi, Honda, Japanese companies these are. Then Tesla, American company. They are all finding alternative. We are trying to do what? The Indian जुगाड़. हमारे पास ना एथेनॉल है, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग वो करके हम जनता को हम बोलेंगे नहीं, हम कर लेंगे. This is what Indians are doing. easily available. Now, you would have also seen the data where some people have told we are importing ethanol also. See, like I told you, ethanol can be manufactured by any Tom, Dick, or Harry. Anybody can do it. But certain ethanols are there, grades are there, industrial grades are there, which needs what? Precision manufacturing. Like the chemical component should be perfectly balanced. That we are importing. That we are importing since a very long time. Most of the chemicals, if you actually see, how many chemical factories do you see around your locality? Just think about it. How many chemical factories do you see? Very less, right? Correct. Jaga kahan hai bhai? We are such 145 crore people are there. So where will you actually go and put up a chemical factory? आओ देशवासियों, यहाँ पर है हमारा chemical factory. मित्रों, सुबह से लेकर ये chemical factory की दुआ अनिलोम मिनिलोम करो. That's it, done. Ever since Bhopal gas tragedy took place, we have been very skeptical about what? Factories, especially chemical factories. So most of the chemicals what we require for many as input or raw material, we are importing it. That is the simple reason to it. That we are importing. Getting the point here? This is the reason some ethanol is imported. Got the point? Now when all the world is trying to do an alternate, will China like it? That is what Chinese also will feel. You dare threaten me. You dare challenge me. Okay. Point noted. I will also show you what I can do. So what China has done. So USA, if you see Chat GPT, you need to subscribe for it. Gemini, you need to have a subscription for it. All right. Chat GPT subscription, Gemini subscription. We have to subscribe. Only then you will be able to use its premium features. Correct? What China is doing is, China is like, I will give it for free. Oof, my lord, this guy will keep coming in. Just a minute. I'm just checking for that description. 3 links are there, people. All the 3 links have been given there. 3 links are now updated. Please check it again. AI models have been given for free, not just simply free. So there is a, let us say, a basic structure to this AI, like the blueprint of it. China is literally telling you, take the blueprint only, na? You take it. You make whatever changes you want. You adapt it, you use it however you want. What is happening is slowly these Chinese, like for example, I think DeepSeek and a couple of other Chinese AI models are there. Like we call it, let us say, the source code of it. What is the basic code work of it? That itself China is telling it is open. Aap le lo. What is the game behind this? USA is trying to establish monopoly here. That when it comes to AI, all of you come to us. Because even to run these AIs, what do you need? You need semiconductors. Chips, high power, high capability, high capacity chips you need. Correct? You need that. Because this is not about your normal computer processing. This is graphic processing units, GPU. For GPU, what is necessary? GPU, the necessary thing is you need high powered chips for it. Why? Simple. Now, if you actually look at all these images, whatever is there in my PDF, all these images goes without saying generated from ChatGPT. I have subscribed to it. I'll give content after reading the paper. I extract the content from it. Whatever is apt, I give it and I tell it, give proper commands to it, and then I generate the image. Correct? You try to do so. This actually requires heavy processing because they are not just simply giving you the content, they have to give it according to the instruction what you have given, in what theme you want, what format you want, that detailed description you have to give it to them. On the basis of that, they are generating the image. Sometimes they will generate a video, all that based on the command given. Earlier, that was not the case. You cannot generate a video or a picture by giving a command. Now you can do that. You can literally generate anything and everything by using what? A command. Just give a command and that image will be generated, a video will be generated, whatever you want can be generated. Correct? For that, you need semiconductor chips. But for that semiconductors also, what is the next comedy? The next comedy in that case also, what the US is doing is, note, global leaders are Netherlands, world leader in lithography systems. What is this lithography systems? See, manufacturing a semiconductor chip is not a easy task. Semiconductors, as the name suggests, it is a very critical, very high on investment, extremely clean environment. One drop, when change in air pressure happens, one little humidity increases, temperature increases, your semiconductor chip will become totally useless. Totally useless. It is of no use afterwards. So generating it is not easy. Who are the people, leaders in it? Obviously Netherlands, then USA, then Taiwan. One major reason why China is always like Taiwan. Why? China keeps telling, that is also Apunka. That is also mine. That is also mine. Antarctica, Janam say it is mine. That is what China generally says for each and every country around the world. But with Taiwan, this is the reason. When it comes to technology, Taiwan is top notch. Got the picture here? This is the reason they want to attack it, because once they have Taiwan in their hand, they get access to semiconductor chips. And it is, if you have semiconductor chips, you can take AI to the next highest level. Got the picture here? Now again, where is India standing in all of this? If you remember back-to-back semiconductor missions, remember, back-to-back semiconductor missions, Tata has also invested, I think, a plant in Gujarat or Assam. Correct? Why? We are still designing the basic level chips only, not some high-end chips and all, because that level money or infrastructure we don't have yet. But at least now we are doing it. Why are we starting it now? At least if we start now, later we will do it. And trust me, we will do here also, we will find some jugaad. If we were able to send a mission all the way to Mars, where the total budget of that entire mission was lesser than the budget of, let us say, a toxic movie or some of the movies that get released in our country. Why? Jugaad we were doing. Here also we will do jugaad and we will be able to become self-reliant in semiconductor manufacture. Once that happens, truly AI will become what? AI will become truly made in India. That is also the reason why even now government has not made any single rule. Central government has not made a single rule so far to regulate the usage of AI in the country. Other than telling that you shouldn't use Aishwarya Rai's face, you shouldn't use Amitabh Bachchan's face. That is personality rights. Other than that, AI, if you notice, no single law is there. Because government is like, let people explore. This is the stage of exploration. Let us not stop them. If anybody misuses it, we can punish them under the relevant provisions of the law. But other than that, government has not come up with a single law also. The reason is this. Got the picture here? Correct, Mohit? Getting the point here. Now saw the beauty of this entire system. Now this entire ecosystem, if you take, saw the beauty. I will tell you. Now look at this. Why critical minerals matter? You need it for electric vehicle, energy storage, renewable energy, semiconductor, defense, manufacturing. What are the key minerals? Lithium, cobalt, nickel, graphite, copper, rare earth. Average refining market share of top 3 countries. From 82% in 2024, it reached 86%. Okay. Which are the countries? Indonesia, major source of incremental nickel supply. China dominates in refining of cobalt, graphite, rare earth elements. Without graphite, you cannot imagine even a small cell battery. Getting the point here. China is the leading refiner. 19 out of 20 strategic minerals. China accounts for the average market share of about 70%. China leads in refining across strategic minerals. Lithium supply is expected to move into deficit during 2030s. Current global copper project pipeline indicates a 30% shortfall by 2035. That is, now everybody wants to make EV. And if we notice the initial diagram that I showed you, the stator, rotor, etc., what are the wires used? Copper wire. Why copper wire? It can resist heat. Number one, it will not catch fire that easily. It won't melt. It can take any amount of high electricity. And while that high electricity passes to it, it will still retain its magnetic quality. Got the picture? That is why copper is used universally. But there should be enough copper for this. That is also not there. By 2030s, etc., that shortage is going to happen. China announced rare earth export controls in 2025. So in 2025, China said, hello, we are not going to export anything. We won't export. You people are not giving me semiconductors, right? So I am also not going to export anything. Not just China put controls on the export part of rare earth. Even the technology also. The machinery also. That is the machinery that is necessary to extract the rare earth elements. That also China said, finished. I am not going to give it to anybody. Suman, Chinese apps are popular for the reason that using those Chinese AI tools like DeepSeek, etc., people are making new AI apps. Because once you know the foundation, like how to make an AI app's foundation is available with you, don't you think you can use it for other purposes? That is the point here. So what some people are doing, like European Union and all, they have decided, okay, we will generate some of the critical, at least 25% of our raw materials for rare earth. We will get it from recycling. EU Act dependence limits dependence on a single country to a maximum of 65%. That means if you are going to actually import rare earth element from a single country at a time, maximum 65%, not more than that. So world over, especially after Corona, everybody when it comes to, should I take it from China? That is the idea. That is the general sentiments that is there world over. This is also the reason why European Union decided to go ahead and have a free trade agreement signed with India. One more reason was that all thanks to our, pedophile, megalomaniac president of USA, Mr. Donald Trump. European Union, they are good friends, good neighbors, but we keep giving it to Europe. Europe doesn't give anything to us. So Europe also felt, what is this fellow? What is wrong with this fellow? So Europe immediately tied up with India. Because to put China in check, whether we have the capability or not, the only hope for the entire Western hemisphere, that is actually सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदू सिता हमारा. Got the point here? The only hope is India. Now, India's critical mineral demand under net zero scenario, by 2070 will require 169 million tons. Projected critical demand, India's estimated reserves, these are reserves. That means we think we have this. Got the point? 44.9 million tons, 163.9 million tons, 211.6 million tons, 189 million tons. Are wah. Million tons. We are rich. We will overtake China. We have. Nikalum kaise? We don't have machinery. We don't have the technology. Simply if you take, what is it, to call 10 people under MG Narega, they will come and dig the mud. Dhum, copper, cobalt. That will not work. That won't work. Got the point here? That is why Indians are also like, okay, डालो ethanol, जोर लगा के, दम लगा के, भरो. This is the reality. Got the point? So we are also trying the jugaad, 25% recycling. But here again, we don't have what? Here also we don't have proper recycling facilities. That is the next headache. Recycling and extracting it out. Where do all our this thing, batteries, etc. go? Your old phone, etc. Just take a walk around your area. If you are living in a city, especially a city like Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, etc. Exactly. All these places, if you see, you will find these mountains where small kids with, one big bag, with big sack, they'll be all walking around. They'll be all walking around, taking all this thing, all these electronics and putting into one bag. That is the quality of our recycling units. Got the picture here? Got the point? This is how our recycling facilities are. India remains import dependent for lithium, cobalt and nickel. India's graphite supply chain remains exposed to China-dominated processing. Means what? Here we can give speeches. We can keep talking that China, we will not bow down to China. We will not go down to China. This, that, etc. In other words, for example, when Pakistan, each and every time when a terrorist attack used to happen from Pakistan, one of the first things that this government did was, they did not announce it, but they silently told to all the IPL teams, koi Pakistani player ko kharidega nahi. So Pakistani poor players, they were also thinking, oh my God, IPL mein jayega to dollars mein paise aayenge. We will all be saved. They are waiting. Not one player got purchased. Why? Indian government made it very clear. Artists ho, sports personalities ho, whoever ho, they won't have work here in India. They made it very clear. So post that, if you notice, neither any Pakistani sports personalities have got a job here, nor anything. And we were also we can also say, Pakistan, we are cutting this, we are cutting that. We can do that with Pakistan. Kyun? Our military budget, or for example, like how one Pakistani vlogger said, Pakistan ka GDP kahan hai? Neeta Ambani ke haar mein. That is some chain that she was wearing. I mean, necklace, not chain, sorry. Some necklace that she was wearing that was actually more costlier than the GDP of Pakistan, apparently. I don't know to what extent it is true. Some YouTube vlogger was telling this. Getting the point? With China, you cannot do that. China, you cannot do it. China is already 20-30 years ahead of us. So no matter how much, for example, when Galvan Valley attack took place, Galvan Valley attack, you remember, right? Without any, our Bhaijan with that one single, that expression, that movie is coming now. Bhagavan Jane. Anyway, in that particular thing again, after that attack, what was the thing that we did? TikTok ban karenge. TikTok ban karenge. China was also like chim cham chum chim. What the hell? Because you cannot. We are dependent on China on multiple fronts, even for our infrastructure projects, even for loans, whatever it is. We are dependent. If we actually decide tomorrow, we will not use any Chinese products. That's it. We won't even be able to take this class. Simple. We won't be able to take this class. What if China, or what if we say, okay, we will not export anything to China. China will be like, India is not exporting anything. That's it. China won't even realize that Indian products have stopped coming to China. Got the picture here? This is the point. So we cannot actually, go with China, because trust me, with Pakistan, we can act like the boss. We can do that. But the Chinese dragon, even today, towers above the Indian tiger. That is the reality. Indian tiger can literally rip apart Bangladesh, can rip apart Pakistan, can rip apart Nepal. But there is a limit to which it can go and take the Chinese dragon head on. True. Sanchi Garg, it is a small percentage. China के लिए पूरा दुनिया है. Understand that. It has the entire world with it. Sanchi. India is one chota country in that. They have continents. China has a train which runs from China to Europe. A train. A goods train. We are still talking about Vande Bharat. We see Vande Bharat went at 160 km per hour. We are still talking about people entering the train with ticket. By mera seat hai, ticket hai. हाँ तो that is where we are. ओके तो क्या आप उठिए, मुझे बैठना है, नहीं तो there is no comparison. Now somebody asked that $1 million question. Sir, how do we tackle this then? Well, once again, after a long time, always our, that is 2013-14 ke little before that, we were at 0.8% of GDP. All right. After that, it was always between 0.6 to 0.7%. 0.76, 0.72, 0.69, 0.66, 0.64. 21-22, we came up to 0.83% of our GDP. Of Indian GDP. What? Research and development. Got the point? Mohit, that is the same concept even we have. One district, one product. Concept it is there. One product will come from one district. One unique product should come from every district in the country. Written on paper only. No manufacturing is happening. All right. We have that. Policy is there. Implementation is not there. Okay. Now it has reached 0.83 and it is being celebrated now. Yes, we have touched 0.83. औकाद, तेरे औकाद जाने लो भैया. China's is 2.4% of their GDP. %2.4% of their GDP. That is their research and development expenditure. So why is it that in China this is so easily happening? It is simply because Communist Party of China at the top will take a decision. that will be followed by everybody. If anybody says, agar nahi kiya to, that's it. This is what will happen. One decision, if it is taken at the top, it gets implemented to the grassroots level. There is only one party. No opposition. Got the point? Whereas in India, Nagradana, Dirana, Dirana, Nagradana, Dirana, Dirana, Nagradana, Dirana, Nagradana, Dirana. सेंटर एक तरफ, स्टेट दूसरे तरफ, local government, that is what is there in our country. No unity. Getting the point? Center will blame the state will blame the center. Local will be like, किसकी सुनूं, क्या करूं? No idea. सब अपने अपने own, what is it, दुनिया में है. Everybody in their own world. Because all said and done, the only point over here is what? Election जीतना है. What about देश? What about the future? अरे छोड़ो यार, अपने बच्चे तो बाहर पढ़ रहे हैं, गरीबों के बच्चे यहां पढ़ रहे हैं, पढ़ने दो, कुछ भी होने दो. That is the reality. English version. Arey, my children are all studying abroad. Why should I worry about the research and development here, whether about the country and all here? Poor people's children are studying here. Let them study, let them fight, let them go to hell. Who cares? Bottom line is that. It has nothing to do with ye party अच्छा है, वो party बुरा है. Whichever party comes, our party, we won't have any party at all. Get it very clearly inside your head. Got the point here? So if you actually notice now, so yeah, in this data again, dictatorship is better than democracy. Correct? For the first time in history actually, because generally if you see private sector share in research and development has always been below 50%. For the first time in 23-24, it has reached 51.8%. And in that 51.8 again, if you notice, transportation sector, drugs and pharmaceuticals, biotechnology, IT, electrical and electronics, these are the sectors which has contributed more. Here again, we need to understand one thing. Correct, Suman? Here again, we need to understand something. It is not that the private sector came, they collaborated with the universities. They found out, okay, there are some students who are very intelligent and they have started some project. Their researchers are very good. So let me invest in the universities. खुद के जेब और बढ़ाने के लिए, to improve their profit, they have made the investments. That's it. Getting the point here? It is, in a way, okay. But it is not like the international standards. Because what is the international standard? International standard is the academy is connected with the industry, which is connected with the market. This is the international standard. As the market keeps on evolving, both academy, the academy, when I say, please understand, it is not our, we have coaching academies, not that academy. Proper academy I'm talking about. The universities and the colleges. The universities, the colleges, all these, All these, they are aware what change is happening. Industry, obviously, even they are aware what is happening. So any future updation, anything that they need, they directly go to the academy and they invest in the projects there. These industries also, the companies also, they have an R&D division is there. So if it is for their project, means they will hire students from here. Or they find a good project is there in the academy, they'll go and invest there. One or the other way. The government just has to simply sit there. Government only has to ensure one thing, what state of the art library, state of the art facilities are available in government colleges in the country. I mean, sorry, not government college, the premier institutions of the country. Government needs only to ensure that. Nothing else. Whereas in our country, that is not the case. Even today, what are we fighting for? We are fighting for this. Other people are doing research in, I mean, AI robotics was already done. Now they are making robots which will look like human beings also. That is the next stage. That stage they have reached. Clear? India doesn't have the system. India doesn't have the system. New education policy is trying to give the freedom to the universities to decide their syllabus. You decide what you want to teach. Got the point. But do we have a research and development friendly environment in our country? Try telling to your parents you want to do PhD. Your marriage will get fixed if you're a girl. If you're a boy, means don't worry, your parents will start fighting to decide who should murder you first. Correct? Because you parents will give you. देखो भाई हम बहुत modern parents हैं. You can choose engineering, you can choose a doctor, and you can choose IAS. Among these three, choose one. We are a very modern family. We will never pressurize our kid. Bus, engineering, doctor, or IAS. That's it. Still you are coming and putting comment under my video only, right? I didn't clear UPSC. Agreed. So I have only that much of standard. What is your standard then to come and comment under my video section, man? Imagine that. If I am Adha Pagal, you are Pura Pagal. Clear? So these are the datas given to you. So now if you look at the whole topic here, look at the way I have connected it. We started with what? We started with a very simple thing called electric motors and how it can be a game electric motors using electromagnets, how they can be a game changer for EV. But in EV, we know it requires what? Rare earth elements, which is dominated by China. As a result of which, world is looking for other alternative. What is China's counter to this? That is in the AI field. Free and easily accessible. Correct? What is the counter for that again by the other countries? EU plus USA plus Taiwan. Just like China is withholding rare earth element access, they are withholding semiconductor access. And where is India standing in all this? We are very happy with this. This is where we are standing. Got the logic? So when somebody actually says we will overtake China, we will become that or this, etc., never. 2.4% of the GDP. That is China's R&D. Maybe yes, 20 or 30 years later, there is a possibility because Chinese population will decline. But China has already made AI robots capable of that. Are building AI robots which can replace their labor also. China has already started it. Chinese factories these days, they run actually 24/7. Where they have kept robots for assembly. That is putting the screws, nuts and bolts for their cars. That is no more done by human beings. Nighttime, they just switch off all the lights. Because robots, why do they need lights? Why do they need lights? Light is only needed for a human being, right, to see. Robots don't require it. China has already started it. Got the logic here? See, Vishwa Guru or no Guru, okay. Whether we will become Vishwa Guru or not, that is another story altogether. India is important only for one reason, if you ask me. That is the market. That market is there. Obviously, you cannot write the way I have explained this in your answer paper. Keep it in mind. You cannot write it in the way I have mentioned it. You will always write it on a positive note only. That India's R&D has now reached 0.83%. India is focusing on semiconductor missions. India has made a lot of free trade agreements which will improve our access to other countries' economy, their this thing, that thing, etc. Got the point here? Other than that, nothing. You cannot write an answer in UPSC which is critical of the government, whether it is NDA, whether it is India Alliance. Any doubts here? We will wait. Let us see when the rules gets notified. Don't jump into conclusion immediately. I've always told you, when a new rule or a law comes, wait till a finality comes to it. New rule came, immediately we shouldn't pounce on it. Some new Indian Statistical Institute, some amendment bill has been brought in. It is still in the bill stage only. It has not become an act. Let it become an act. Let it get implemented properly. Then we will start discussing. And any excess of any specific resources. Sneha, we have a lot of resource. Make no doubt about it. We have lot of resource. Simple. See, these so-called resources, where are they? Wherever you see a mountain, wherever you see a hill, you are going to see what? You are going to have a resource there. You will find any metal, any mineral, metallic, non-metallic mineral there. We have the Himalayas, we have the Aravallis, we have even in the entire eastern sector, we have a lot of hills. Northeast sector also it is there. But why are we not going and exploiting it or touching it? That will be the end of it. Himalayas are continuously rising. And anywhere else you go and touch a hill, see, we don't have the technology to do extract it in such a clean way possible. Got the point? So when you try to extract it, we are bound to destroy the environment there. This is the issue between environment and development. China, because of the land size that they have, what they will do, I will tell you. They will just tell the people there, every one of you pack your bags, go to the other part of the country, go settle there. That is what China has always been doing. Pollution is more in one area. Hey, pack your bags and leave. Go to that area. End of the story. Simple. They'll just move people out overnight. No questions asked. Can you do that here in India? That is the problem. So comparison with China, comparing anything with China is actually futile because the administration is different, the polity is different, the mindset, everything is different. What's the logic here? Military power to halt China. China, Mohit, need not even win a war against India. All China has to do is keep fighting a prolonged war. What did they do in 1962? 1962, they entered into India and then they went back. Without any provocation, they attacked India. Without any reason, they went back also. It was just to tell them, ki bhai dekho, this is your auqad. Galvan Valley, I agree. Galvan Valley attack, it was first time that China got a vapas, a reply back. Our soldiers with bare hands did the fist fight there. It was fist fight, pure fist fight, nothing else. 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning. On one side, you're having a deep valley with ice, very cold water gushing down. On the other side, you're having these Chinese soldiers armed with batons and long batons wound with barbed wire. This is what the Chinese soldiers had used to hit Indian soldiers. Our soldiers were bare armed. Because along the India-China border, you're not supposed to use firearms. The second time, one more attack had taken place. But by then, even Indian side soldiers were also ready with batons and knuckle busters and everything. We gave them left, right, center, forward. But if a war occurs, if at all a war occurs, China will not go full-fledged. China will only do this scratching on the surface game. India will have to utilize all its might there. So the reason why we are building these FTAs, the other reason is also this, because if every country will lose a lot economically because India is on war with China, everybody will get involved. They will not come because it is to protect the largest democracy. We have decided to go and declare war with China. No. They will be coming and supporting India simply because, arey, mera market. That will be the reason. Got the point here. That is why China is also taking 2 steps back and sitting and watching the game now. Clear? Why do we see made in China toys in India even though it is not so important? Demand is there. Simple. Despite having large population, where is the budget used? Instead investing in research. Close to 8 lakh crore given as grants for local bodies. Urban local bodies, rural local bodies. Where rural local bodies gets around 4.5 lakh crore. 3.5 lakh crore. This is as per the 16th Finance Commission. Then, subsidies plus freebies. No state government nor even the central government has given its full picture. Okay, what is the total amount? But the estimate is anywhere between 10 to 15 lakh crore. That is if you count all the state subsidies, central subsidies, state freebies put together across India, it will come to this figure. इसके अलावा प्रधानमंत्री ग्राम सड़क योजना, विकसित भारत, जी राम जी, द न्यू ऑल्टरनेटिव टू योर दिस थिंग, MG नरेगा, स्वच्छ भारत मिशन, आयुष्मान भारत मिशन, national food security mission, these are all separate. These are all separate. So just count and see. Okay, this is fine. 8 lakh crore for 5 years. So in a year, it is 1.6 lakh crore. So 10, 15 lakh here plus 1.6 lakh crore plus all these schemes put together. You add and see where are we going? Where are we going with it? So it wouldn't be a surprise that close to some 20 lakh crore money is just spent like that. Whom is it going to? Who is getting the advantage of it? We don't know. Because you see the villages, which village is there in our country which is in top condition? You go to the cities, which city in India is properly managed? Correct. No. 0.83% simply means the total expenditure in India, government and private sector put together, the total expenditure made in India for research and development is 0.83% of GDP. In that 0.83% of GDP, highest share is for the private sector for the first time. See, definitely Nicobar project is going to be an add-on. See, Nicobar project, we say that it is for China. It is not for China actually. One nonsensical country is there called Bangladesh. It is for them. It is for them basically. Once that project is developed, 1 or 2 submarines, 1 or 2 aircraft carrier, you keep it there, 2-3 missiles, and that's it. Chittagong, they are one of their main ports, etc. over there. Will become history. Because that guy Yunus Khan went to China and said, come through northeast, cut off this, take entire northeast. Take it and go. So that idiot went and said that, we are building this. China won't be affected by it much, trust me. China has alternative. A country that can set up a railway line from China till all the way to Europe. You really think they'll be bothered by this? They are not at all going to be affected. They'll be like, okay, chum chim, next chum alternative they will find. As simple as that. Or probably they will buy 1 or 2 ports from Bangladesh itself and start doing the trade directly from here. Who is going to stop them? China won't interfere in POK matters. Why will China interfere? See, China is only keeping Pakistan in its custody just so that Pakistan will constantly go and irritate India. So India's attention and focus will be on this thing. Getting the point here. It is not that China will lose out something. Just like for China, let us say, China treats Pakistan like a, for want of a better word, like a prostitute, you can say. I didn't say this. This statement was actually made by, again, another person from the POK region. Because when the Chinese were actually building this highway, China-Pakistan economic corridor, when they were building that, Chinese engineers used to demand women from that Kashmiri, from POK side, or other Pakistani women, they used to demand, we need Pakistani women. And they were sent there, forcibly they were sent to entertain keep the Chinese engineers and the Chinese soldiers who are guarding it in good spirit. Got the point? So for China, Pakistan is never important. If Pakistan goes up bust tomorrow, China will be least bothered. That is the bottom line. Clear? Clear, people? So this is the bottom line. So this is the way to prepare actually. when you start any topic, don't study it isolatedly. Connect it and study. Getting the point here? So like I told you, India is doing all of this, but positive sides, the thing is, at least now we have started investing in semiconductor missions. At least now we are focusing on research and other things beyond Ratta Mar Ultikar through the new education policy. Apart from that, yes, the free trade agreements, whatever we have signed, all this we are trying to do to improve the overall environment in our country. Clear? Shikaria, China need not get busy with Taiwan. See, for the first time in POK, people have started raising slogans against the Pakistani government, Kullam Gulla. Unconfirmed and unverified reports have suggested that more than 100 people have been killed by the Pakistani army. The last time Pakistani army indulged in such a killing, that was in Bangladesh. We know today Bangladesh is against us, but still, it led to the emergence of a new country. POK again, we'll have to wait and watch what will happen. Getting the point here? They won't be able to stay independent because Pakistani army will not spare them. Their only other option will be what? To join India. Take a plebiscite or something and then join India. But how will that happen without even firing a single bullet? That we will have to wait and watch. But even let us say 10% of POK comes into the Indian government's hands. Sorry, India's hands before 2029. Do I have to tell you what will be the outcome of the election even before the election occurs? Getting the point? If POK, nothing happens, it is status quo. Balochistan also, nothing happens, it is status quo. Then what is the only Brahmastra remaining? Reducing the fuel prices. That's it. Other than that, nothing. If that also they don't do by then, take it from me, it will be very difficult for the NDA to win. Because more than whether you want Rahul Gandhi as the Prime Minister or not, people will come to the grand conclusion, we don't want Modi as the Prime Minister. We are done with him. Enough. That will happen. Extreme love to extreme hate. That is the problem with this personality-based politics. Indira Gandhi lost. India is Indira, Indira is India. Indira is Durga. When? After the 1971 war, India is Indira, Indira is India. Then, after the 1974 nuclear test, Indira is Durga. Elevated her to God-level status. From there, she came crashing down. She came back. That is a different story again. But that is what is in store as far as Indian politics is concerned. Clear? Stay out of it, watch it, laugh, move on. Coming to our another topic. Okay, now because we talked about FTA, let me take you to FTAs again, little down the line. So we have been signing a lot of sorry, sir, but you said the same thing during West Bengal Assembly elections. Yes, I said, brother, I am not God. I am a human being. I said I will be surprised if BJP wins there. And I was surprised. I was surprised when Vijay also won in Tamil Nadu. Got the point here? Understand one thing. BJP won in West Bengal. I have friends here. My West Bengali friends who are here. Oh, sorry, not West Bengali friends. Friends who are from West Bengal. They all took leave and went for their vote. It was not because they had love for BJP. Hatred for TMC was at its peak. Did any one of you actually expect that TMC will break off and ex-TMC MLAs or MPs will come and join BJP? Did you expect it to that level? Even I didn't expect. That is Indian politics for you. Who is in opposition today will go and join the ruling party or the strong side tomorrow. Indian voters vote like that. Got the point? So everywhere if you see DMK, anti-incumbency factor, Stalin lost from the constituency where if anybody goes, it's just like what happened with Prashant Kishore. 31 years strong post, BJP lost it. Some 20, 30 years strong area of DMK, they lost that. Stalin lost from that. Sitting chief minister. Getting the picture here. So understand these things very, very clearly. Extreme hate can lead to that. And BJP right now is facing it. So we will watch it. We will watch the entertainment. Arey, what will happen? Rahul Gandhi will become Prime Minister. Let us enjoy it, man. What is the big deal? FTAs, I told you, we are going on signing, and it is a good thing. Because obviously, it will open new economies for us. It will open new market for us. It will open new technology for us. All of that is true. We have signed FTAs with United Arab Emirates, Australia, Oman, New Zealand, European Union, and United Kingdom. That is basically, we can say, the entire Europe. Middle East is also done. This side, south, east side, that is also done. EVM hack and all this. No, Mohit, that will be there. EVM hack will be there when opposition loses. When anybody wins, they will say it is win of the democracy. That is what it is. EVM's dignity will always be questioned. Leave it aside. This we have concluded. What is under negotiation? United States. This I don't have any hope because of that pedophile. Gulf countries, other countries, we are doing it. Even with Canada, we are doing it. So, at the outset, it looks as if our FTAs are doing great. But the reality is, imports from these places are going on increasing. Whereas India's exports to these places, that is not picking up. For example now, rising trade deficit. With ASEAN, we have an FTA. Initially, in 2012, it was 10.4 billion. Now it is 51.2 billion trade deficit. What does it mean? We are importing more from ASEAN and exporting less. Got the point? We are importing more and exporting less. With Japan, South Korea, India's imports from Japan and South Korea increased at a faster rate than its exports. Trade surplus. We had a trade surplus with Singapore before signing this FTA. Now we are having a trade deficit. Got the point here? South Korea, Japan, etc. So, when you analyze one of the FTAs that was signed, imports have gone up, exports have declined. What is the situation with these countries and how it will go in the future? We will have to wait and watch, because most of these have been concluded only very recently. So we will have to see its impact literally from every aspect, not only from technology perspective, not only from an export-import perspective, even from a health perspective. Because with UK or European Union, with whatever FTA we have signed, what is the crux? One part of it is basically chocolates, ice creams, whiskey, wine, etc. from Europe and UK will enter India at cheaper rate. One will definitely cause liver cirrhosis. So one is alcoholic, one can cause alcoholic fatty liver. The other items, ice cream, biscuit, chocolates, etc., that can cause non-alcoholic fatty liver. So the cumulative impact for that, we will have to wait and watch. UAE or Middle East, with whatever FTAs we sign, no matter whatever we do, ultimately we are what? A crude oil dependent country. So always it is going to be what? A trade deficit only. Because we don't have anything to sell to them which is as valuable or as pricey as crude oil. The next thing is what? Gold, which again we import from outside. That is also pricey. Got the point here? Shikhar Rai. See, Nitin Gadkari said that the price of ethanol is already low, etc. What is the current international, just compare the international prices of petrol and, international price of crude oil and international price and the Indian price of petrol. Even when the price was very, very high, Indian price was high. But when the price dropped, we didn't bring it down. See, if you are telling that what the government's logic, I understand. But where the government is failing is, okay, you are telling that crude oil prices are tied to dollar, international prices. So that is why petrol price and diesel price are so pricey. Agreed. So when it is above $100, I am okay in paying more than 100 rupees for petrol. But at the time when it drops to 78, why are you not dropping the petrol and diesel prices automatically? The sad reality is that when international prices of crude oil increases, immediate increase happens with petrol and diesel prices. But when international prices drop, the drop in petrol and diesel prices hardly in like point some rupees, 80 paise reduced. That's it. And that again the government will tell as if they have done some very big, some very big favor for us. Tax people tax. The tax component in petrol and diesel is more than 50%. That is the reality. See, you cannot say government is failing in every aspect. What else? What alternative is there? Think about it. What other alternative is there? See, since 1981 or something, I think, we have never updated our syllabus. We have never updated our syllabus. Syllabus, when I say, across universities. We never had a research and development environment here. We never created one. So how are you expecting the current government to answer to the challenges when you never had a backup for it? When you never had a plan to deal with all this? Got the picture here? We never had the resources. Now they are trying to build it. Bottom line is that. At least not in the near future. At least not in the near future. And see, ultimately in our country, everything goes by what? Caste-based politics. That is the bottom line. Now in Bihar, okay, one Prashant Kishore won. All right. In how many other places will Prashant Kishore be able to win? That is the next question. So FTA, we saw this is the deal. Chalo, theek hai. What is the situation of caste in this country? So this is the name of a particular SC community called, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, Banchada community. Life trapped in darkness. Who are they? They are a denotified tribe. In the British days, they were actually called criminal tribe. Later they were denotified, etc. Estimated population is 25,000, spread across 28 villages in Mandsaur, Neemuch and Ratlam districts of western Madhya Pradesh. Girls are pushed into sex work after puberty. That is, as soon as the girls get their periods, they are told by their families, go for sex trade, get into prostitution. Families depend on their earnings. 10,000 women, including 3,000 girls, remain in caste-based sex work. I mean, who does that? Pushing your own child into prostitution because those are the rules of the community. This is India for you. We are only having the government, be it at the local level, state level or central government, what we deserve. Okad. Got the point here. Bhumika, exports for ASEAN has gone down. But India's exports, if you really see, last year has increased because of the FTAs we signed. And not only the FTA, also because of we started selling our goods to new markets. Like Prime Minister, if you notice, last 74 crore, I think, is the total expenditure for all his foreign visits put together. We were all going on telling them, Melody, he is going and playing boyfriend with Melody or whatever. All these are dealings. So actually, India's exports increased in the year 2025. But even then, rupee we saw going down. Why? Crude oil prices, gold purchase. That is the main reason. Got the point here? So this is a community that is there. History of discrimination, customs that chain women. They get paid something like 300 for 10 minutes. They work along the state highway 156, which passes through several Banchada villages. This is the reality. See, Bhumika, okay, fine. That is done then. Risking health was, so this is where we are standing in terms of caste. Then how are we going to expect a major change in the entire way the government is functioning? Got the logic here? Ultimately in India, it is caste-based politics, caste-based political party, caste-based voting. Then comes religion, then comes freebies, then comes subsidies. Got the point? In a state like Kerala, they have decided to give free bus service for women. What joy? You are actually giving free bus service on the for those people who are having ration card. I agree. You are giving monthly 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees on the basis of those people who are having a ration card. I agree. Blanket wrapping all women, you are giving free bus service. What has happened? So Kerala government's transportation sector's cost has gone up. Loss has started increasing. Private buses, etc. are all getting shut down. Got the picture here? We are not taking policy decisions, or we are not making policies on the basis of what will work economically well for the state or for the country. We take it only on the basis of whether I'll be able to stay in power for the next 5 years. This is the deal. Clear? Indian services, what are they doing there? Which Indian services? Shikari, I will agree with you. There was a sympathy factor. But don't you think if you, like what you said, the arrogance factor is also there, right? If you constantly feel, BJP, they are acting so much. That is there for them. That feeling, multiply that into 145 crore. Don't you think a change will happen? Smriti Irani, when she stood in Amethi, initially Rahul Gandhi defeated her. The margin was very less. Next time, she won. But after that, why didn't she win? Anybody who becomes arrogant, thinking that only I will win here, only I am going to be the ultimate MP or MLA here or Chief Minister here, janam ke liye, they will all go crashing down. Clear? I live in Ratlam but never heard of this. This is not my creation. The source is Hindu. All right? Now let us get back to the other topics. This is done. BitChat. What is that? Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center under the Ministry of Home Affairs directed GitHub on 23rd July 2026 to remove repositories hosting the BitChat messaging application. BitChat is a messaging application. Direction cited concerns that the application could be used to coordinate unlawful assemblies, evade lawful surveillance, and circumvent restrictions imposed during public order situations. Means what? See, this BitChat is now one hell of a creation, by the way, because you can easily communicate using non-traditional communicating tools. For example, each device acts as a client and a server also. Server means what? Server means the main, main point from where you control the entire operation. All right, that is what it is. Every app also has a server. Every company has a main server will be there. But the interesting thing about BitChat is that you are not only a user, you can also be what? You can also be a server also. You can send a message to nearby users devices just using Bluetooth. These devices forward the messages to other nearby devices. That means if everybody is connected with Bluetooth, let us say we are all standing nearby, we are all connected with Bluetooth, and if I say, let's gather at Jantar Mantar, I am also the client and I am also the server. So in WhatsApp, if I am sending you a message, let us say, correct, very good, rising spirit, very good. Aha, Alchemy Empress, Danda Mone, so many people in YouTube today with so much of Gyan. Nice. So, Rising Spirit as well as Alchemy Empress, both of them have said the correct thing. That is, it works on mesh topology. Mesh it is. So, if I am actually sending a message right now to, let us say, to Avishi here, only she will be able to read that message and I will be only able to read her message. It is completely encrypted. Correct? And if a formal request is placed to WhatsApp, WhatsApp will be able to give. They won't be able to give. I will have to surrender my phone, everything. They can access my WhatsApp data from it. This is what it is. What the government will do in such scenarios is, if they know that people are using WhatsApp extensively, they will block the internet. And that is exactly where this BitChat comes into picture. Why? This is Bluetooth. So if we are all connected Bluetooth and we are all using this app, one message if I put, Chalo Sansad, Chalo Sansad, Chalo Sansad, Chalo Sansad will appear in all the phones where people have kept this BitChat in them. It will appear there. I need not even know who you are. You will also not know who I am. You just saw Chalo Sansad. You will come. The messages hops across multiple devices in mesh network. The messages reaches devices far beyond direct Bluetooth range. That is the comedy here. So Avishi will be standing near to me. So in her phone it appears. Near her, Sneha is standing. So in her phone it appears. Then it goes to Bhumika. Where are my boys? Then from there to Mohit. Mohit is standing very far away from me, beyond my Bluetooth range. But he will receive that message. Why? Tuck, 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 connected. Getting the point here. This is why I4C, Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center that works under Ministry of Home Affairs, told to stop this. Finally, somebody said that. Are you against BJP? Ghanine. After my FCRI bill, so many were there. BJP ke dalal, kitne paise mile, chaat rahe ho na BJP ke, etc. were coming on under it. Now somebody said you are against BJP. I am against all political parties, man. I am somebody who is like live and let live. You take whatever money you want out of corruption, whatever you want, you do. Give basic things properly. Proper school, proper hospital, proper road. The rest we will manage. That's it. You ensure these three things for me. Hospital is there, good schools are there, good roads are there. Even by selling Pani Puri, I will survive. You forget about research and development and everything. But no, this is India again. Clear, people? So what is the government order? What is the legal framework, etc.? Can government actually do something like this? Getting the point. Can government actually do something like this? What is it, somebody? Do this. Illa, Abdul. Jammer device, I don't think for Bluetooth it will work. What about IFOS? Jammer device also has its limitations. Getting the point. Then to whom you give the vote? I have no interest in voting only. My sister and my brother-in-law, they are in Bhutan. So she basically told me, you don't require a postgraduate MPhil or PhD, etc. to teach in Bhutan. If you have an extensive experience, teaching, they will hire you in Bhutan. I am just building that up. And there, no Zomato, no Swiggy, no Amazon. You want to buy anything, you carry a small basket, go to the market, get it, and come back. The Bhutanese movies are there. The tickets for the Bhutanese movie is sold by the same people who acted in the movie. They will be selling the tickets. Once they get a minimum profit, their production cost gets covered, they'll say, okay, movie band. Kal say another movie. That is how it is in Bhutan. Clean air, clean water, clean food. Whatever little bit of marks were there on my sister's face, now she has become total pond's skin. Mere komal twacha. Probably I will also go to Bhutan. That's it. Clear? Direction was issued under section 79(3)(b) of the Technology Act. Can government actually do such things? Absolutely yes. Government can do. Which law it is? What does it say? Direct blocking of public access to information on specified grounds, including sovereignty and integrity of India, security of the state, defense of India, public order, and prevention of incitement to cognizable offense. Blocking orders under section 69A are governed by the IT Act, IT rules. Government can do this. Many are there. What is India's stake? India does not have much stake and all. The only problem is that that part of CPEC which goes through POK, that we can basically forget it. Even if the other side, that is if you take, because you have asked that question, think something like this, that thing is going, that highway is going, CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. That side, you can forget. This part, at least you can try. Point is na, even if you create, that is, this is LOC, correct? This is your line of control. यहाँ से अगर थोड़ा भी ये अंदर गया ना, little at least, if we are able to push it a little at least that side, it is a win. It is a huge win. Because jitna zyada you push them further and further inside, that much of peace and security in JNK. That is the bottom line. Vessel state of either US. On what basis are you telling we are favoring the US? If we were favoring the US means, why will Trump actually slap tariff after tariff on India? I don't understand from where people are getting all these ideas. I already told you, Middle East crisis, the main target there is not Iran or anybody. It is India. That is the main point here. If you want to move out of India, why did you prepare for UPSC? Hemant, what you will think in your 20, you will think that the same thing in 40. I have the fundamental right. I prepared for UPSC. Our 20s, I used to love a girl. She treated me like her brother. So what should I do? Stay single for the rest of my life. Kya logic hai yaar? I will see you all. I will see you all later. When your idealism is done with, now that time I will see you. Sir, it got fixed that you will going to Bhutan. Arey no yaar, I am still too young. I am thinking, I just said that, okay? My son, I have, 2-year-old. My wife is here. They'll murder me before going to Bhutan. Just calm down. Yenda Devame. So that is done. Pakka prelims purpose, Praxis mission concept for planetary ring exploration. a project under NASA. Planetary rings autonomous exploration with in situ sampling. In situ means on site. Selected by NASA for innovative advanced concepts 2026 phase 1 funding. Mission proposes an AI enabled bio inspired robotic explorer capable of conducting the first on site sampling of particles from planetary ring systems. That's it. Prelims only. Wise old young man. Sarcasm acha laga. What? We are scared of them. We are not passing FCRI bill. Arey yaar. We are a democracy people. Passing the bill is not something like, Arey, wo bill zara pass karna. That is not the way. You present it in the parliament. Parliament mein disruptions nahi hona chahiye. You have to discuss the bill, debate the bill. There is a process to it. Please understand, this is not your Zomato Flipkart order. You pressed a button and the thing will come. There is a process for everything. You present the bill, you table the bill, you debate it, you discuss it, you pass it in Lok Sabha, then in Rajya Sabha, then you get it assented by the president. Then there is a judicial review challenge. It has nothing to do with what USA will think or not think. FCRA already, tough amendments to it has already come in the year 2020. Already they had made. This is just an added amendment to the already existing law. Have you covered last week backlog? Mohit, ये फिर क्या था? ये सब last week का ही है. Registration of Birth and Death Amendment Bill. This is a new law. I mean, not a new law. And again, an amendment that has been brought into the existing law. That is, if you have not registered death, birth, or death within 2 years, then when you go to register it again, you will need what? You will need executive magistrate's permission. Sorry. District magistrate, subdivisional magistrate, or an authorized executive magistrate should sanction it. Within 2 years, if you have not registered birth or death. Reason is pretty simple. We are tightening the nuts and bolts on what? Nuts and bolts on all the people in our country. We are trying to bring in a proper order here. And that is the reason also, like I told you already, why are we tightening our borders, putting up border fencing everywhere? The reason is that yaar kitne log hai desh ke andar? How many people are there? And to create one proper digital system where all the birth and all the death will be properly maintained. But the problem again here is that center can bring such a law, but the implementation of it by the states is very, very poor. Especially it is poor at the local level. So last week's current affairs I had told you, West Bengal, local level. Now the responsibility of registering birth or death has been given to the officers, government servants there, not to the panchayat, not to the municipality. It will be government servants' responsibility to ensure that births and deaths are properly registered and properly accounted for. Got the point? So this you can consider as a added factor to it. Amendment does not prescribe additional documentary requirements for delayed registrations beyond the existing provisions. That is whatever said. That is, if you didn't do it within 2 years, set of documents are there that you should go and submit. Obviously, it will start from your Aadhaar, PAN card and everything. In the case of death, birth means obviously which hospital. That will be the most important thing there. Clear? So that we are going to do. Purpose is this, proper count. Got the point? Because the entire thing is digital. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a total, a digital clock itself in the future, which will clearly show how many people have died, how many people are born, and what is the total count of the population. Because even the current census also what we are conducting, that is also completely what? Digital. Supreme Court mining around wetlands. The Supreme Court has given an order with regard to a particular wetland. And what is that order? Clarified that it's February 14, 2024 direction requiring prior approval before mining within a 10-kilometer radius of the Asan Wetland Conservation Reserve would for parity. Parity means equality. That is Article 14. Apply to wetland conservations across India. Whatever regulations or guidelines Supreme Court gave for that one wetland in February, that will apply to all the wetlands. Why? Because when you are doing a mining activity around a wetland, even now we don't have any proper rule or regulation. That is why Supreme Court had to give. Got the point here? On February 14, 2024, Supreme Court directed that mining within a 10-kilometer radius of the Asan Wetland Conservation Reserve could not proceed without permission from the Standing Committee of the National Board for Wildlife or the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. So you need this. This permission has to be acquired. Got the picture here? There is rumors that DMK will support delimitation bill. Arey, enemy is your friend. See, DMK's position, because now you have said this, I will mention. DMK now, what is it? Our Vijay has already fired one salvo, warning shot, with the arrest of Udayanidhi. Correct. Vijay has also went on record to say, Todamato, Tottavanem Vidamato. In other words, छूंगा नहीं, जिसने भी छू लिया, उसे भी छोड़ूंगा नहीं. English, I will not touch people's money, and whoever has touched people's money, I won't spare them. Show off the banta hai when you are multilingual. So, Udayanidhi Stalin arrested. Whether he said it in double meaning or single meaning, leave it aside. Whatever statement he made. Now, what is the only thing? What is Stalin's biggest worry? Arrest if an arrest or something comes, he doesn't want two enemies, right? One from the center, the other from the state, jammed. What he will do then? Think. Politically, if you are in Stalin's position, what will you do? Got the point? That's it. Neither the Ramsar Convention nor the Wetlands Conservation and Management Rules 2017 prescribe a statutory buffer zone around Ramsar sites or expressly prohibit mining within a specified distance of such sites. Getting the point here? Ramsar sites. How many sites do we have? 101. But in Ramsar site, if you are going to do mining, what distance should we maintain from it? That has not been mentioned anywhere. Now, who has mentioned it? Supreme Court has mentioned it. In which ruling? Asan Wetland ruling. Again, this is a clear example of what? This is a clear example of judicial activism. Because neither the parliament nor the government gave any clarity as to what should be the buffer zone around a wetland. Getting the point here? So Supreme Court said what is there for Asan, that will be applicable throughout. Clear? That is what this ruling is about. This again, gold demand. I mean, this is only purely statistic. Overall gold demand in the first half of 2026, 282 tons. Year on year, 2% increase. Jewelry demand, 141.2 tons. There is a decline, 17.1% decline is there. Why? Obviously, it is pricey. To know what is the situation of the price, where is that one? Adande. 28,000, what was 28,000 for a bangle in 2016. That same bangle will cost you today 1.5 lakh or more. Got the point? 1.5 lakh or more it will cost today. As a result of which, demand is there, but gold demand is not for the jewelry anymore. It is for gold coins, investments, etc. Gold coin, gold bar, gold bond. Bonds are there, ETF bonds, exchange traded funds, etc. etc. On those things, demand is there. Plus, the interesting thing is, yeah, despite the decline, purchase has been made around 1.98 lakh crore. Then. Outstanding retail bank loans backed by pledged gold jewelry reached 4.3 lakh crore. 124% year on year. That means people are taking loan from the bank. After what? Pledging the gold in the bank. Then taking the loan. Pay the interest. Agricultural loan, you can take like this by pledging gold. The interest rate is very, very low. Otherwise, also people are like placing the gold. The little gold you give, you are able to get so much of money. Why you are able to get? Because the price. Whatever you bought for 28,000, now you go and pledge it. You will get a very nice, huge amount of gold now. Clear? Sorry, not huge amount of gold. Money you will get. When you pledge the gold, you will get a good solid amount of money. All right. This is done. Health budget. Global health financing gaps and aid reductions. Per capita public spending on universal health coverage in low and middle income countries is just 50% per capita of the minimum benchmark. Minimum benchmark means if the minimum benchmark is you are supposed to spend 10 rupees, you are supposed to spend, you are only spending what? 5%. 5 rupees. 50% of that. Health expenditure gap 2.05% between low and middle income countries and high income countries. So high income countries, it was 2. The gap between the expenditure we are talking about, it was 2, now it is 1.68. Per capita public health spending gap between low and middle income countries and high income countries has increased by 3 times. That is, simply I will tell you, high income countries, USA, Europe, etc., whatever they are spending on their health, that is 3 times more than the expenditure made by most of the Southeast Asian countries, including India. Development assistance for health, what was given by World Bank to most of the countries, it reached its peak in 2021 because of COVID, but after that it has started to decline. One major reason is that USA has decided to pull the plug. USA is like, why should we keep spending money for World Bank and all, for World Health and all? Why should we keep spending money? They have cut short on their spending. Clear? Foreign assistance program reductions in 2025. USA reduced their assistance program by 67%, UK by 39, France by 35, Germany by 12. Why is it that all these countries have decided to decline it, reduce it? Because globally growth has gone down. When people say, right, the Indian government has failed, etc., see, understand one thing. Forget who is ruling. That you leave it aside. World economy is down, people. Since 2023, at least I'm hearing, we are entering a recession. My guess is we have already entered a recession. Because everywhere it is slowdown. Everywhere it is unemployment. People who have traveled to all these places for a foreign degree, etc., they are still unemployed. They are now taken up their degrees, everything, and they are still lying unemployed where? In that part of the world. They are spending more. Bad health because of food could be the reason, like junk they eat. Not exactly, Mohit. They actually are they spend that much money on health. That is the reason. All right, just bear with me for a few minutes. Power will be back. United States has historically contributed to more than 1/3 of global investments in health. The organization for OECD says that for global health totally, there will be a 60% reduction. Global public debt has reached 102 trillion. Developing countries accounted for 31 trillion. Note the point here. Total debt, public debt, if you take, that has reached 102 trillion, in which developing countries only account for 31 trillion. That means remaining 71 trillion is from where? High income countries. Clear? So, like I told you, the larger reason why countries have decided to cut short on their expenditure, cut short on all their expenses, government expenses especially, it is because economy has slowed down. Economy slowed down, but large population is there. Now, how do you cater to it? So, you will cut down on everything and focus only on a few priorities. Clear? According to World Bank, health budget execution in low and middle income countries is 85 to 90%. Only about 2/3 of the allocation on India's flagship health infrastructure mission was utilized. That means 34% was underutilized. We keep budget. In that budget also only 66% is used, 34% is not used. Only 26% of the funds allocated under National Health Mission for communicable and non-communicable disease programs were utilized. That means 74% unutilized. According to estimates by London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, India spends less than 1/4 of its public health expenditure on preventive health care. That means 25%, less than 25% we spend on preventive health care. Cleanliness. I already told you, indoor hospital, rats came and bit newborn babies, they died. Sanitation water, drinking water, which Einstein's idea it was that you will keep sanitation pipeline above drinking water pipeline. Okay, you run it parallelly, I don't have any issues. Who will keep it one above the other? Think about it. Who will design it like that? So, whatever deaths we are having in our country, it is largely to do with what? Not investing properly on preventive healthcare, basic healthcare. Clear with this? Any doubt? Let them pass it. Let them pass any bill that they want. We need not worry about every bill that is passed. Like I told you, let us never jump into quick conclusions. Let us always wait. Let us always wait for that bill to get passed. Let that act come. Then let it get challenged. Then we will see its implementation. Then we will have data. Otherwise, it will be speculation. Like how I made speculations about Bengal elections and Tamil Nadu elections. That I can make. It is never going to come as a UPSC question. Clear? Any doubts still here, people? Decreasing value of rupee. It has always to do with our high inputs. We need crude oil, we need gold, silver, gems, electronics, natural gas, coal. All these are expensive items. We don't have any equivalent item that is as valuable or as costly as this. That is the main reason. How to move on in life after facing cheating in marriage? Do these global bodies hold any significance in the post-COVID world? Nah. No. PPT's slides are only available to my Pabad such hai, my Praram, that is the PW students. The PDF is available in the description. You can download it from there. India-Bangladesh border. Now, this is nothing great here. The only thing to highlight here was Calcutta High Court directed the West Bengal government in January 2026 to hand over acquired land in 9 border districts to the BSF by March 31st, 2026. For almost, I don't know how many years, BJP central government was asking the Trinamool Congress government under Mamata Banerjee to give land to actually put up borders. Mamata ji was like, no. She was not ready to give. Because ultimately the point is that you don't have a secure border, that many infiltration can happen. It is not like what Mahua Moitra told, people don't want to come to India, I will go and settle in Bangladesh. Maybe she can go and settle now because in Bangladesh probably nobody will throw eggs on her head. That is true. But otherwise, if you see, we can always see that any time any trouble has occurred in Bangladesh, since 1947 to 2026, people keep infiltrating. And the policy followed by the earlier UPA government was that not to fire a single shot was the instructions given to our BSF. Not to fire a single shot if they see any a person coming from Bangladesh to India, not to fire, because it will spoil the relationship between India and Bangladesh. It was a soft stance. Now it is bota bhai. It is basically like you fire. If they don't listen to you, you fire. The BSF has been given complete freedom there. So what has happened is now, as of August 2025, 1647 of Bangladesh border in West Bengal has been fenced. Then all this is about kitne, how many kilometers has been fenced, etc. This data we don't need. That is the bottom line. We don't require this data. Good news is that most of the areas will get fenced now. Within another 1 year maximum, it will get covered. However, a 174.514 kilometer was classified as a non-feasible for conventional fencing due to riverine channels, marshlands, floodplains, shifting river courses, densely inhabited settlements, and the Sundarbans. In that region, what has to be done? Government is still pondering and still thinking over it. Clear? Taking it further forward. The largest unfinished segment of the India-Bangladesh border fencing project is located in West Bengal, because West Bengal was the only government, it was not granting permission at all. That is why Calcutta High Court finally had to give an order. But even before they could take up the order, etc., the center was able to form a government, a new government, BJP government formed in West Bengal. And one of the first decisions that the cabinet took was to approve this project, because land is a state subject. Even though defense comes under center, land is a state subject. And whatever people might say, at the heart of all these issues, even the Ladakh protest, government is ready to form autonomous hill district councils, tribal councils, all that you form. But government is not ready to give them any such recognition, which were the people of Ladakh or the administration there will have an ultimate say in matters of the land. Getting the point here? Even when it comes to J&K statehood also, that is the main reason. Why J&K statehood is not being denied, land again is the reason. Because if you give statehood, land again will come under J&K. A simple project also, if the central government has to conduct, they will need assembly's approval, or they will have to take it for litigation. Like how the central government took it and Calcutta High Court finally said no, hand over the land, which is again trouble. Same thing with Ladakh also, because government has understood that you don't have control over the land, especially J&K and Ladakh region. You won't even be able to build a highway there. So they are ready to give away everything else. Our recognition we will give you. We will give you that's this thing. We will give you reservation. We will give you this subsidy, that subsidy. Everything we are ready to give. But control of the land, that will be with center. See, national security will come, Rohit. But ultimately, now you can see, like I told you, center can actually do what? See, there is a provision in the constitution. The states are not abiding by the instructions of the center. Article 356 kicks in. That is president's rule. Dismiss the government and then impose president's rule. But center knows it, or the BJP knows it, that is political suicide. Getting the point here? Because when you dismiss a state government like that, sympathy will be there for the state government. So BJP has also been sitting and waiting there. Let the people want us, let them vote. Then we will enter there. Which is what happened this time. And that is why all this work is happening so fast. The entire controversy around Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir, everything is over the fact that right now center takes a call in all of these. UPA era, the defense minister, Mr. A.K. Antony, has gone on record to say that the policy adopted in all our border areas was not to develop the border area. That video is there. Before you call me Sangi, Andubhakt or whatever, go watch it once. Policy has been not to develop the border area. Why? Because if you develop the border area, then you will have trouble with your neighbors. So in order not to have trouble with your neighbors, we will not develop our border area. This has been India's policy. He has said that on record. in the parliament. Got the point? What are we doing in Ladakh? What are we doing in J&K? What are we doing in West Bengal? We are developing everything. We are strengthening our border. We are building, setting up bases there. We are providing our soldiers with the latest technology, latest gadgetry. And club this, the fact that in in West Bengal, they did not allow for this border management. They did not allow, right? What did Yunus Khan say? Attack the chicken corridor, then you can have Northeast. And what did that dash, who is now in jail since more than 1 year, what did he also say? Cut off the chicken corridor and then Northeast can be isolated. He said that sentence. Are you thinking that all these three are coincidences? West Bengal government denying central government from setting up border. Then Yunus Khan going to China and telling attack Northeast now through the chicken corridor. That Dash sitting in Delhi saying that cut off Northeast from India. All these are coincidences. Think. Plus Ladakh and J&K. Ladakh, when was the last time you saw that in Ladakh there is a movement for self-recognition, that they want to be recognized as a self? Northeast, we have seen. Northeast insurgencies were there in Manipur. It was there in Nagaland. It was there in Mizoram. In all these places, there were insurgency movements. Since the time of Nehru, it was there. Never in Ladakh. How is it that an issue which was a non-issue since the last 75 years of independence suddenly became an issue very recently? Because the idea was very simple. India was strengthening its borders. India was strengthening it. This was not liked by the nefarious forces inside and outside India. That is the only reason. Clear? This is the point. So this much of internal security analysis at least you should have. What is the time? 27. Okay. Digital arrests, leptospirosis, fast food, wildfire, Asiatic lion, Indian government schools, medical college, caste stigma is done. Post 370 abrogation. Very quickly we will see this, just charts only. So what is the end result after 370 abrogation? How is Kashmir doing? Overall, if you see, growth is high. This is each year how much money was spent. This is comparison compared to previous year. So this was 3% increase, 6%, 8%, then drop -2, -1, -3, 12% increase, 10%. It is a comparison. GSDP. Capital outlay, how much investment in infrastructure, etc. That also each year, ups and downs are there. Higher education enrollment, unemployment rate. Now this higher education enrollment and unemployment rate, when you take, you will feel, oh my God, things are not looking so great in Jammu and Kashmir. It is not looking great anywhere in India. So one of my videos will come now next week. Thanks to the humongous response that you people all gave for the FCRI bill. Whether you called me Andhbhakt, whatever it is, supporting or opposing, whatever you said, the response was great. So much so that now my work has increased. So education and suicide, one video I have made. In that again I have highlighted about the situation of unemployment in the country. And the link of it with the suicides among students, etc. That video. And yes, I will be making a detailed video on reservation also, delimitation also. Delimitation, when it comes out, my dear BJP supporters, please don't start hating me. Okay? Clear biasness towards BJP. Very good. So somebody asked, are you against BJP? Now somebody said, he is pro-BJP. Agreed. Terrorism. Terrorism and other activities. So at the peak of it, we can say it was 195. That was in 2010. Then it took a drop, picked up again, 17, 18. Then peaked again in 21. After that, drop. This is where it is standing. Terrorism related activities have actually come down. Bottom line is that. And ultimately, now some people may say, sir, what should we write? Article 370 abrogation, should we support it? Should we oppose it? What is the Supreme Court rule or order? Jammu and Kashmir does not enjoy any special status. Article 370 abrogation was actually approved by the Supreme Court also. End of the story. Opposition is going on telling that they will restore it back. If they come to power, let them restore. Array, it is okay. Pro or anti-BJP. See, the comedy I will tell you. So in this thing, Kerala now, if you say you are a BJP supporter, you will get called, like how people are calling Andhbakt Sanghi and all. Kerala Chief Minister, when he met Narendra Modi, he received Narendra Modi. So Chief Minister, ex-Chief Minister, that is Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan. So Modi from BJP, Pinarayi Vijayan from CPM. It is not that Pinarayi Vijayan folded his dhoti and said, come on. And Modi said, yeah, gee, and jumped from the plane and landed and gave a kick. Nothing. They were both actually holding their hands like this. And I believe I'm not sure exactly whether Nirmala Sitharaman called Pinarayi Vijayan for lunch or Pinarayi Vijayan hosted a lunch and called Nirmala Sitharaman to have food. Lunch from his home. One or the other had happened. I'm not sure exactly which one now. I'm not able to remember. When the politicians can sit together, have lunch, they are shaking hands. Why the hell are you all getting worked up? Half of the people in West Bengal, the people who were once part of CPM, has joined BJP. People who were once part of Trinamool Congress, they have joined BJP. Congress MLAs and MPs on whom enforcement directorate income tax cases were there, they joined BJP. Which was Malayalam. In other words, thoda sharam kar. We sitting here and calling somebody Andhbakt, somebody becoming left liberal. I hate Sanghis. What are you gaining out of it? They are sitting and eating together, sitting and having food together. Kangana Ranaut went on record to say they are better actors than them. Why? Fighting is only inside the parliament, not inside the canteen. Inside the canteen, they are all sitting together. So why the hell are you getting worked up thinking that BJP is bad, Congress is good, or Congress is good, Congress is bad and BJP is good? Your MP or MLA will change the party tomorrow. Chadda ji ko bhul gaye kya? What did he say about BJP before joining it? Now what is he doing? Common sense to use karo yaar. Internet shutdowns, that has also come down. Civil liberties, political rights, 21-17. That is the score. That means not so great, not so bad. Somewhere in the middle. That is the bottom line. The remaining topics, I will take it up next week. All right. Any other questions? Please let me know. അതല്ലേ പിന്നെ എന്തോന്ന് ചോദിക്കേണ്ടത്? ഒരുമാതിരി അവർക്കെല്ലാം കെട്ടിപ്പിടിക്കാം, അവർക്കെല്ലാം ചെയ്യാം. നമ്മളൊന്നും അറിയാണ്ട് മോദി ചെയ്തത് നന്നായെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എടാ സംഘി എന്നും പറഞ്ഞു തുടങ്ങും. എന്തോന്ന് ചെയ്യുന്നത്? ഒരുമാതിരി മര്യാദയില്ലാത്ത ടീംസ്. Sorry, that was Malayalam. Nothing official. Just, meant some colloquially. Some people from my hometown, they understood what I said, so I was communicating with them. All right. Hope it is possible. It can be a government where there is no majority for anybody. There is a huge chance for it. But see, that is where there is the Brahmastra what BJP will come up with. That is the point. How can we find truth? See, the truth, if you really want to find, you will have to visit multiple websites. Multiple websites you will have to visit, which for your this thing you need not go to that level. All right, you need not go to that level. You need only to take it from a UPSC perspective. If this is asked, I will answer this. So, like I told you, okay, will India, if a question comes regarding China, either if it is asked in GS paper 2 or even if it is asked in GS paper 3, you will have to write that one point there. India has now improved its research and development. Now the expenditure on research and development has hit 0.83% of GDP. India's new education policy is also very conducive for research and development in the future. India has also launched semiconductor mission. This you will write in the way forward. End of the answer. You're not going to write the whole hopelessness, etc. What I told you. Because, see, it is hopeless. You cannot expect a sudden change and all. One girl I saw very recently, because she scored 93%, her sibling had scored 99% or something in 10th. She scored 93%. Her mother is basically telling, Ab main, what will I tell to the relatives? Tune mera muh kala kar diya, apparently. So this is the sort of people that we have in our society. So don't expect any sudden, this thing tomorrow. Oh my God, ghan, research and development increase and suddenly there is employment. 20 years from now, you take. Things may improve slightly. I tried, Mohit, but the problem is that, there are, because we are having now Praram batch, Pinnacle batch and Titan batch. Any day we pick up, it is clashing with one or the other class. That is the issue. Either morning some class will be running or evening some class will be running. So it's very difficult. Part-time job, how you get first payment? See, I started teaching. That is what I did. Thank you, Abba. I started taking classes for UPSC only because this is something that comes naturally to me. Teaching, explaining things, trying to see the sense out of things. That is something which comes naturally to me. So that is why I started taking classes. You need to find out what you can do in your area. Did you see ODC? Yet to see. Yet to see. How to remember all these topics. Connect and study. Say, for example, I have connected electric motor. That electric motor, electromagnet, it is just for your understanding. But the main concept is what? Other countries are developing electric motors, etc. Why? To reduce their dependency on rare earth elements. Why they want to reduce rare earth element dependency? Because China has dominance there. So China, how is it trying to counter on that? China is trying to give AI for free. Why China is giving AI for free? Because AI needs semiconductor. But for semiconductor, who is dominating? USA is dominating, Netherlands is dominating, Taiwan is dominating. 3 countries which don't want to have anything to do with China. How is India trying to do it in its own sweet ways? Ethanol blending program we are trying to bring in. We are also trying to have our semiconductor missions here. We are trying to improve our expenditure in R&D. Done. One topic. It's actually one topic, but I connected it and studied it everywhere. Getting the point here. Border issue, why was it there with West Bengal government for all these days? Because land is a state subject. What is the ongoing issue in Ladakh? Why is it that statehood is not being given? Because center will lose the control over land. Center will have to take the permission of the local councils or the state government if they have to implement any project. The center don't want to lose out on that. That is why center is ready to agree to every other demand of Ladakhi people, of the Ladakhi population, or even of the union territory of J&K, except granting them complete statehood. Oh my God. After taking Praram batch class, how was your experience? Initially, it was very troublesome because too young. And see, the problem is that when you teach a subject like polity, there'll be too many questions. And any which way you try to answer, either you will be categorized as a liberal or you'll be categorized as an Andhbhakt. That is guaranteed. And I was supposed to teach NCRT basics for them. Because Praram batch that is what it is. First year it will be NCRT basics. So that was a nightmare for me. Nightmare it was. Later, it became okay. It became proper because I think even they were also new to the whole process. See, for a faculty, the thing is that limited hours are there. Within that time period, you have to finish the syllabus. You are not doing research here. You need to only crack the exam. जितना जरूरी है बस उतना ही करना है. ज्यादा मेहनत करोगे, you work too hard, you have too much of knowledge, you will become a competition for me. My son is too young. Why you want to be a competition for me and make me unemployed unnecessarily? You please go to Labasna, get married to some MP's, rich MP's single daughter, enjoy all the perks and privileges. Babita Srivastav, Praram 2.0, I have no idea whether it will be launched. Kushi, whether it will be passed in the monsoon session, FCRA bill. You ask your MP, why are you asking me? MPs will decide it, na? We can clearly see that bill, a bill being passed in India. US senator is worried about it. Opposition is worried about it. People sitting in Pakistan are worried about it. If you have minimum common sense, then you should know what that bill should be passed. How is it possible that in USA, Pakistan, everywhere people are worried of an FCRA bill? In India, that's it. Obviously, the people who are inside India, the MPs again, who are in India, who are getting the benefits of these so-called foreign funded NGOs, they won't like it. They will try to create maximum disruption. As simple as that. Reservation protest, nothing is going to happen out of it. Center has very clearly told in the Supreme Court. So you have creamy layer, right? Creamy layer is there in OBC. So if your caste comes under central OBC list, there is a test called creamy layer, non-creamy layer. If your family income is greater than 8 lakhs, plus other criteria is also there, but this is the main criteria. Family income is more than 8 lakhs, then you belong to creamy layer. You will not get the reservation. But if your family income is less than 8 lakhs, then you will come under non-creamy layer. You will be eligible for reservation. In fact, the same criteria is there even for the general category. How so? If your income is above 8 lakhs, then you belong to obviously general category. But if your family income is less than 8 lakhs, then you belong to EWS. That is, in other words, if you really see, this 8 lakh has become a default criteria to decide who belongs to OBC non-creamy layer and who belongs to EWS. Correct? Now, Supreme Court in one of its earlier rulings had made it very clear that a similar subclassification should be brought for SC/ST. Whoever is having income more than 8 lakhs shouldn't be eligible for reservation. It makes sense when you think about it. Correct? Because that same criteria is there for OBC, EWS. So, you should have some income. Not necessarily 8 lakhs, but some criteria you should keep. But center, what did the center tell to Supreme Court? No, you cannot keep income as the sole criteria. When it comes to what? SC/ST. Income alone cannot be the sole criteria. Historical injustice. Social inequality. These factors also needs to be considered while giving reservation. Got the point here? So that Pachada community that I told you, that is there from Madhya Pradesh. One of the major problem, even though they are notified under SC, scheduled caste, but they cannot get a scheduled caste certificate. Simply why? Father and mother. The child is going to apply for an SC certificate. Automatic question comes, right? Who is your father? Who is your mother? Because once they are pushed into prostitution, they are abandoned. Getting the picture here? And once you know that, okay, this particular community, they are into prostitution. Now, don't think that, oh, sir is only targeting North Indian. Nothing like that. In the South also, in parts of Karnataka, Andhra, etc., especially those border areas, fringes of the state, you have certain communities who are into this Devadasi system. Devadasi, it actually means Deva, who is a Dasa for the Deva, who is the servant of the god. Name is very nice to hear. But this community, they indulge in prostitution. Even for them also, it is the same issue. Getting a certificate, getting a ration card, getting any legal document, it is a nightmare. Because they have to face prejudice. Because the moment you say your caste name, you will face inequality. This is the reason why center said a sub-classification is not possible for SC/ST solely on the basis of income. End of the story. So you can keep telling, no, reservation hata do, reservation hata do. Reservation hatega nahi. For the simple reason that in India, parties are there in the name of a caste. If you have quite a good number of people are there under your particular caste, you can form a political party that will easily decide the outcome of the election. Say, for example, in Karnataka, Gaudas, very, very strong. Then the Lingayats, equally strong. Like that, communities are there. So, Gaudas will only vote for one party here. Lingayats also the same thing. I agree, exceptions are there. Some people may, think very analytically and then vote. But largely, let me tell you, Gaudas means they will vote only for a particular party. Lingayats means they will vote only for a particular party, which is the reality in every country. I'm sorry, every state of this country. Bottom line is, you want to end reservation? End discrimination first. Without ending this, reservation will never end. Bottom line is that. Reservation will continue. Motivation is overrated. Stay disciplined. Eat your food on time, everything on time. Aspiring to become India's NSA, National Security Advisor. എൻ്റെ ദൈവമേ. Clear 11th and 12th. Then get into a good college. Then give UPSC. Get into IPS. All right. Then from there you prove your mettle, or get into the military and from there try to get into RAW, or get into IB and then from there try to get into RAW and then from there NSA. Try. Toxic trailer is full violence. It will change your opinion. What opinion? I don't have any major opinion of it. First of all, that director, she has no experience directing a commercial movie. Understand that. I just feel it will be like a mega fashion show. Each actress will come and go with some backstory and some violence and unnecessary cringe scenes. But I will go and watch it first day. I will go and watch. GDN. How many months of current affairs? 1 year is enough. Mistake that need to avoid as a beginner with college. Self-preparation means if you are not making a timetable and not sticking to your schedule, that is the mistake. If you are attending coaching classes, the mistake would be you are not attending the classes on time and you're building up a huge amount of backlog. Nah, Spider-Man I didn't watch. Illa. Who is that? I didn't see the name of that person. The reality is government don't have the data with them. That is the reality. See, we never bothered to conduct a proper caste census also in this country. Understand that very, very clearly. We don't have the data. OBC to an extent we have. Extent in the sense that because they are a little better off compared to SC/ST, they have Aadhaar, PAN, and all the other documents. We have some idea. Okay, these people are there in these states. With SC/ST, that is not the condition. It is so bad. It is very, very bad. We don't even know the number because even so, like the caste stigma topic that we took here, 25,000. It is an estimate. We don't know the exact number of this. Getting the point? And again, the caste rules in our country. The father is from upper caste, mother is from lower caste. Then what will be the child's caste? Like that, so many confusions, etc. are there. So it is never easy to actually find out how many people are there in particular SC community. See, we can easily call them. This person belongs to SC. This person belongs to OBC. Within that, many communities are there. In that communities, you need to find out how many castes are really well off. What is their income? Where is the data for this? Because if you need to collect that data, that should be done by the state government. Which state government will go and do this? Nobody will do because it is recipe for disaster. You take a caste census in your state, you will lose the next election. Because it is not because of you're taking the count. There are communities within SC who are getting the benefit. That is, they are well off. They are getting the benefit. Within OBC, they are well off, but they are getting reservation. Similarly with ST, they will not be happy. And these are the power groups. They can easily determine the outcome of the next election. So across India, it is not at all possible to do this exercise. NEET aspirants still watching. Hope you please focus on your NEET, brother. How to reduce the trade deficit? Alternates. We will have to find alternates. Say, for example, so India did a wonderful thing with a hydrogen fueled train. So train tak aa gaya hai. If we are able to come out with cars, hydrogen fueled cars, plus ethanol blended petrol, these two, if we are able to do properly, crude oil imports will come crashing down. Crude oil will go off. Then, so that is the alternate for crude oil. For coal, again, the only alternate is what? Solar power plus batteries. Correct? And for that, again, we are having semiconductor mission. For natural gas, the alternative is what? Biogas. For which, again, very recently, Gobardhan scheme has been approved by the cabinet. So these are the alternatives. Is ye kharidne ke bagair, ye karo. Instead of buying this from outside, you do this. Instead of buying coal, you go for that. Instead of crude oil, you go for this. These alternatives. Even then for gold, there is no alternative. That is the bottom line. But still, if we are able to, at least if you are able to focus on these things, it will make a huge change in our trade deficit. We can actually bring changes. That is the bottom line. I am vegetarian. How to lose weight faster? Weight training. PubAd paper to syllabus is small because whatever I discussed here today, right? That is almost like, let us say, 30 to 40% of PubAd paper to syllabus. I'm not joking. The local government, etc., whatever I told, there are urban local government, rural local government, district administration. These are 3 chapters. Totally, you have only something like 12 chapters in paper 2. No, 11 chapters because 1, chapter is not there basically. That is the planning commission chapter is not there. And 2 chapters are static. So you remove it, 12 minus 1, 11 minus 2, 9. So what I discussed here is 3 chapters actually. 3 chapters main core content. That's it. Even if you have not cracked the exam also, you can come and meet me. Okay? To shake hands with me, to come and meet me, have a cup of tea or coffee with me. You are, however you are right now, however you are currently, whether you cleared, you didn't clear, you can come and meet me. There is nothing wrong with it. All right? Recycling and all will not work. That has limitations. Yeah, Bangalore weather today is very cold. Very, very true. Very cold it is. UPI taxation, let us wait. Let the final outcome come. Let us wait. Why the rush? RBI has basically said that they have enough money to pay for the UPI. Now, if a tax, even if they are going to say they are going to charge, it will depend on what basis it is. Because they are not, if they are going to charge all the merchants, etc., once again, it will be undoing whatever you did till now. You want to head for a digital economy and you bring this new charge now, what will happen? People will go back to cash transactions again. They'll withdraw money from the ATM. They'll start storing cash. So that you cannot expect. Getting the point. See, any change you want to see in your physique, high protein diet, weight training, 1 day at least in a week, you should do cardio. It will take at least 3 months. If you are doing it continuously, you will see some change. You work out for another 3 months, your clothes, etc., becomes a little more tighter. Like this shirt, etc., it was not this tight initially, but now it has become a little tighter. So then people will notice it. You continue it for another 6 months, you will start looking incredibly good. Incredibly good, not because of your face suddenly becomes like 100 watt or something. No. Whatever you wear, you will look good in it. And you will be more energetic. So like they say, the aura or whatever charm or whatever attraction you call, generally if you see, if you are healthy, you are fit, you will, who doesn't like to talk to a person who is fit? Correct. You see somebody who is fit. Okay, I agree. Fitness alone is not enough. Something should be there in upstairs also. But generally, if you see, you will attract. You will start attracting people. Both gents. If you are a guy, you will attract more men than women. Trust me. It is not how they show it in the movies and all. Men will actually appreciate you in the gym first. Hey, you are putting on now. Good. Keep up the good work. Men actually appreciate it. It is the boys who will actually come and ask, Anna, you are doing it correctly, Anna. ನೀವು ಇವಾಗ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಣ್ಣ ಹೇಳಿ ಅಣ್ಣ. All that. They will come and tell you. Girls will not even bother. Don't worry. UPSC with PCM possible. PCM as in you're still in 11th, 12th. Please complete your schooling, get into a college, then start UPSC. What will I tell you? If somebody has cheated you in marriage, divorce them, move on in your life. Change your phone number. Cut off from all those people who will constantly remind you of your past. Deep fake images, that was there before also. Morphed images, we called it that time. Now it is deep fake. Nothing you can do. You are a very good dancer. Thank you very much. B Pharmacy UPSC preparation again. Same thing. Join coaching. Take down the notes. Read it. Finished. Love from Himachal. I got a nothing like that. Any optional depends upon whether you are interested in it. Yeah, I assure you, public administration, if you are going to take at PW, that syllabus will not go beyond 6 months. That is guaranteed. MBBS completed is medical or zoology, which will be a good option. Bhumika, whatever you analyze the question paper once and the syllabus once, and based on that, take it up. Whatever you are comfortable with, don't listen to people in these matters. People will keep giving their general statements. Oh, scoring nahi hai, ye scoring hai, and all that crap. Don't believe it. If you are really good at drawing, you know your medical concepts really well, go for medical only. What is wrong? Tambi means brother. My views on Ajit Doval. Who am I to talk about Ajit Doval? Asset, national asset of the country. I mean, what will you call Ajit Doval? Will you call him Andhbhakt? He has worked with Rajiv Gandhi. Imagine. I think even with Indira Gandhi also, right? Yeah, yeah. Indira Gandhi's government onwards, he's there. Asset of the nation, man. What is there for me to talk about him? See, that is what you have to be. Be such an efficient officer where whether Congress comes into power, whether BJP comes into power, they both need you. They cannot survive without you. As simple as that. Again, try to get attention of students with fake attitude. കണ്ടുപിടിച്ച് കളഞ്ഞു കൊച്ചു കള്ളൻ. The Bangalore sir, I want to meet you. Okay. Why government? Hmm. See, Supreme Court has also said the same thing. Reservation is not for Janam 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 ke liye. It has been given for this generation. Only they should get the reservation. The Supreme Court has also said, if this, so for this thing, let us say I got reservation. So my son shouldn't be getting it. He won't get it also simply because obviously the income is more than 8 lakhs, etc. Be it my wife or be it me, we both put together, our incomes are more than 8 lakhs. So my son is not going to get any reservation. And that is how it is supposed to be. But the point here is that can Supreme Court make such a law? Can Supreme Court basically tell, no, reservation, you shouldn't do this. Reservation, that policy is not right. No. Because reservation policies ultimately are decided by the parliament. There is a limit up to which Supreme Court can intervene here. Supreme Court also doesn't have what with it. Data is not there with them for them to make a policy. Say, for example, they made a policy on, okay, wetlands, 10-kilometer radius, no mining activity. That is possible. That is very much possible. But which community will you give reservation this year? Which community you will take away reservation this year? What will be the criteria? There are many nuances to it. Got the point here? Many nuances are there which even Supreme Court doesn't have access to data. Government also doesn't have the access to data. How are you going to make it? It is never easy. It is never easy. And like I told you, you want to win reservation, end discrimination first. I have experienced it. I was having this conversation with a couple, a married couple. And suddenly they just asked. So it was the second day or third day I was having a conversation with them. Suddenly they asked, "Aap Brahmin ho kya?" I said, no. Oh, okay. And the fourth, the next day onwards, I could see a change in their attitude. See, I'm not telling all the Brahmins are like that. Please understand. I'm not at all telling any of it. But one couple actually showed that to me. I have Brahmin friends who has eaten from my lunchbox also. I've been to their houses also. I've been to their weddings, their functions. They have not shown any discrimination whatsoever. Getting the point? So there are every category of people in this country. Some people will only act on the surface level. They are very modern. They are very backward in their thoughts. So as long as those discriminatory thoughts exist that you are judging me purely because of my caste, you're not judging me for my education, not judging me for the knowledge what I have or for the information what I have, then how are you expecting reservation to win? That cannot be possible, right? You stop reservation, but discrimination I will do. I will judge you on the basis of your caste. I will not eat food from your home. I will not touch your vessels. I will not touch you. Your child shouldn't sit next to my child. These nonsense are still happening in our country, right? How are you expecting? Historical injustice is still continuing. I am fortunate that I was born in the state of Kerala. I am fortunate for that. Because caste based discrimination, let us see you pulling it out in Kerala. Whatever experience I had, that did not happen in Kerala, it happened outside Kerala. I have many reservations with the state of Kerala. That their unemployment rate is very high, their fiscal management is very poor, this, that, etc. Many negative opinions, but there are a couple of things where Kerala stands miles or ages apart from the rest of India. It is high, it's completely normal for a Muslim, for a Hindu, for a Christian, for a Brahmin, for a SC/ST, for a Dalit, everybody to sit together, eat a lunch, watch a movie. Everything is possible. I mean, in which other part of the country will you see private buses traveling? And somebody had posted a video also. What is it? Sri Ram, I think. Sri Ram is there. The Mecca, that, I think, what do you call it? I'm not sure. That photograph, that black thing, that photo is there. Then church, then Christ, Jesus Christ is there. All the three are sitting together. So that vlogger had posted, I'm traveling in a bus in Kerala, and look, these three are chilling together. These three, in the sense, these three people, these three, what is it, deities or belief system. All the three photos put together. How many other parts in India you will witness it? And that is not just one bus. You will see it in every bus. It is perfectly normal there. So, see, you cannot expect end of reservation without ending discrimination. End the discrimination part. Then at least we can think of ending the reservation. Very true, Nanda. There is no evidence. That is what I told you. Even Brazil, where they implemented E20. See, simple logic, Nanda. If E20 was such a big problem creator, by now half of the vehicles of Indian road will be standing inside the repair shop, garage shops. Correct? Whether you are BJP or anti-BJP, you leave it aside. Half of the vehicle should be in the garage. Half of the vehicle should be in the service center. If E20 was supposed to create trouble. Bottom line is that. Just end of the story. Critical analyze limitations of CPA. Do you have to write features and advantages too? Depends on the demand of the question, brother. Kerala, I'm from Thrissur. Kannada ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Mr. Guy, whoever you are commenting over there, why don't you do something constructive in your life? You can try tarnishing my image how much ever you want. I have students from Jammu and Kashmir to Kerala, Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh. You are just one commenting gentleman in my comment section. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. While you are trying to spread negativity, I have ended up teaching students more. So you continue. Yeah, even I have one in Lakshadweep also. One student is there. At least I am sure when I die tomorrow, there will be at least 10 people whom I have never met in my life who will cry for me. When you die, probably your parents also won't cry. Clear, people? Kannada Bharate Gowda ji, Hele. How to deal with family stress? Jail, nothing you can do. Family is that one thing where once you never ordered it, but you have received it. Now enjoy it. Can't be take POK completely. Will be a disaster. Won't be easy. People will. You liberated Bangladesh. What did you get out of it? You liberated Bangladesh, right? 1971. Sam Manekshaw, etc. went and liberated it. What did you get out of it? Instead, we should have put a border back then only. Put a proper border there. वहीं करो जो करना है, मार दो, जला दो, कुछ भी करना है, कर दो. Don't come to India. We should have done that in 1971 only. What did we get? POK also, there will be the same trouble. You liberate it also, it will be trouble. Even if you acquire it also, it will be trouble. If we get the land without the people, great. Maybe after 100 years. You will become practical, Nagaraj. When you reach my age and all, you will become practical. 39 years I will become in another 1 month. Life is very short, man. And most of my people of my age, one of my classmates actually died last year. Heart attack. He was just 37. 6 foot tall, very fit guy. Not an ounce of belly fat. Flat, total flat tummy. He died of heart attack. So very short life we all have over here. All right. So it is better to, prioritize only few things in your life. Most importantly, your physique, your mental peace. That's it. Don't overdo anything where you will have to break your head. Yeah, if the peace is being destroyed by your family, enjoy it till you get into a job or something. Study, get into a job, get out of your situation. That's the only thing to do. Clear, people? So I'm calling it a day. Everybody, please go and have your dinner.